Alrighty. Welcome, friends, once again to the Welcome, friends, to the tavern. Middle of the week. Hope everyone is doing well so far. Hopefully, we can get you guys to Friday with our stream to reinvigorate you or whatever it is that you need in your life. Sadly, we do not have Logan.
I don't wish that.
Okay, well, yeah. Only we had Logan here because maybe we could have two optimistic individuals and not.
Got Knox.
That's true, actually. You know what? Valid. But yeah, Logan is not here with us. He might be in the chat. He's busy doing, real life things, which is kind of a loser in my book. But whatever. He'll be with us next week. And then tonight we will be going through. We'll start to go through Unearthed Arcana because we will be slow going. Me, Connor. I don't know how much Logan has really done, but at least for tonight, me and Connor have not really dived into this, and so we'll be taking it basically sentence by sentence and give our thoughts and opinions. And so feel free also in the chat to do so as well, and we can just
we might even be looking at it. You already got a salute in the chat.
Yes, Nathan is here. Welcome, and Nathan, good to see you, buddy. Knox is here, snoozed out as usual. If you guys feel so inclined, let me go ahead and drop. If y'all, there we go. Alrighty. Dude, I might as well not waste any freaking time because we're gonna need to maximize it. Let me make sure audio's good.
Yeah.
Let's send it.
By all means, just let me know where we're starting, and we'll just dive into this.
Let you know what? Hello? What?
Hi. No, just saying, let me know where do you want to start with this?
Okay, so let's just jump into it. So I would like to actually start in the equipment, which will be down at page, I think, 45. Yeah, 45. Because I keep hearing that they are switching some properties around, and then they've also, if you cannot already see, that they have mastery portion of this table, which I think gives abilities to some of the weapons. And from my understanding, these masteries you'll get based on your class you're starting, your class will give you masteries on certain things. It's a little bit different than proficiency, and so I say we just go right into it here because we see the table here, but where does it explain all the ability? I think the abilities are next.
Mastery looks like it's page 46, where it says mastery properties next to weapon properties.
Okay, cool. Real quick though, let's go through weapon properties because I don't know if they changed any of these. Which here we go. Okay, let me go. We pulled up in the player's handbook because we're also gonna go back and forth and compare things to kind of also just see where things are going and changing. Which let's go ahead and start with what it is here. So heavy weapon is unwieldy compared to other weapons. You have disadvantage on your attack rolls with a heavy weapon if it's melee weapon and your strength score isn't at least 13. If it's a ranged weapon and your dexterity score isn't at least 13. You have disadvantage if it's a melee weapon and your strength score isn't. Okay, let's see. Heavy.
So it's kind of just like a stat requirement for larger weapons.
Yeah, so small creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls with heavy weapons. Oh, okay. So that's just I like that, and I like that, and I like that if this is the direction they're going. I like them adding more stat based things because the fact that it's just a small creature and that's just completely exclusive to small creatures is dumb. I like that they are incorporating more stats and they are baselining some things. So that's pretty cool. Light. When you take the attack action on your turn and attack with a light weapon, you can make one extra attack as a bonus action later on the same turn. That extra attack must be made with a different light weapon, and you don't add your ability modifier to the attack's damage unless the modifier is negative. And it says, for example, I think that is exactly the same as light in here. Oh, wow, no. A light weapon is small and easy to... Oh, no. So making it ideal to use in fighting with two weapons, and then it says in Chapter 9 of the Player's Handbook.
Oh, I see.
Which I think actually that... Yeah, you want to read that out for us? I think that's what it says.
Which one?
Just read it. Go to Chapter 9 for two weapon fighting, and I think that falls in line.
Yeah, I got you there.
Because it is weird that
I believe so too.
It is weird that they list light in the OG Player's Handbook, and they don't even specify the whole thing. I do like that they at least specify everything in this category, and I don't know if that's how it's going to stay in the final publication, but. That's pretty cool. So far, so good. I like Heavy's change. I do like that a lot.
So you're looking for just the actual combat encounter, in combat using a 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah, 2-weapon. It should just be labeled 2-weapon fighting. I just don't really want.
Should be.
I really don't want to have to like go through the PDF and then have to go all the way back here for the OGs.
I gotcha. Yeah, 2-weapon fighting. When you take the attack action and attack with a light melee weapon that you're holding in one hand, you can use a bonus action to attack with a different light melee weapon that you're holding in the other hand.
Okay.
You don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack unless the modifier is negative.
Cool. Same thing. All right.
Yeah. So pretty. But of course, you got all your feats and fighting styles and stuff that help negate the negatives and all that jazz.
Exactly. Okay, so thrown. If a weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack, and you can draw the weapon, that weapon as part of the attack. Is that the same?
I don't believe so.
If a weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack. If the weapon is a melee weapon, you use the same ability modifier for that attack roll and damage roll that you would use for a melee. For example. That's really cool. So yeah, so thrown, if it's like a dagger, you can now, as an action?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Second. I'm just making sure, just in the book here. In the book, it does not specify anything about you being able to draw and throw it as part of your action.
Yeah.
I think most people don't really like home rule it kind of like that, but...
So yeah, OG Player's Handbook, you do not get to draw it.
Right.
And then in the updated version, you can draw it, and it looks like you can just. So this is kind of cool too. If the weapon has a thrown property, you can throw the weapon to make a ranged attack. So it's cool because that doesn't specify anything, like for action or anything like that. So you could actually, in theory, make an attack, and if you have 2 attacks, like for a fighter, you can then draw and throw a dagger or a hand axe. I think it says.
Right.
Yeah. For example, if you throw
something with a thrown property, yeah. Because it's a property on weapons, so like you would have to because if you look through here, let's see what might actually have thrown. Yeah, dagger, hand axe, light hammer, spear.
Did they add?
Spear.
Hold on, I'm curious. Did they actually add more thrown on the Unearthed? Because I don't think anything really has thrown.
On the player's handbook,
hand axe has thrown, dagger has thrown, light hammer has thrown, spear has thrown. I think that's about. Oh, and then dart has thrown. I think that's all the same.
Oh, trident.
Oh, trident. Trident has thrown.
Yeah. But for being honest, it looks like even reflected here, trident is just a different type of spear.
Right.
I mean, it literally is, but well, no, actually, and that's what makes this different. We don't know what it means yet. But I see spear has mastery that says sap. Trident has mastery that says topple. So I guess when we get into that, that's going to be a different way you can utilize a weapon. So it isn't just a different type of spear.
Right, which is really cool so far that we're saying here. Just is the fact that they actually are, they're adding interesting little things to these weapons.
And it does more damage anyway. Maybe tridents. Maybe don't use a spear anymore. Just
wait, is trident better now? Is trident?
Well, trident is so a spear is 1d6 versatile 1d8. Trident is 1d8 versatile 1d10.
Oh, and the trident only in the OG is 1d6 1d8, and so it's actually better.
Right.
Yeah.
Ranges are the same. It's really going to kind of come down to which now they're competing. What the mastery ends up meaning.
Yeah.
When we get there.
Wait, did they increase spear? No, spear is still 1d6. Yeah, 1d8. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Versatile is the only thing gives it to the
Oh, bro, I'm so excited. This is good.
I like that there's just already looking at the essentially the Excel spreadsheet here. That is the weapon stable. There's a lot more options. Everything at least seems like it has more going for it. Even looking at the ranged weapons, they have different masteries. So.
Yes. Also, it appears that weapon properties here are properties whose definitions have changed for this playtest. So maybe if we go through playtest 6, we'll see more. So they only list 3: heavy, light, and thrown that apparently changed. So that's all they list.
Right.
But we will get into that. Maybe playtest 6 will do. So, all right. I'm excited. All right, let's do masteries. Let's see what these cool words, these funny words mean. Mastery properties. Each weapon now has a mastery property as shown in the weapon tables above. That property is usable only by a character who has a feature such as weapon mastery that unlocks the property for that character. Here are descriptions of each mastery property. The properties are provided in alphabetical order. If a game feature lets you replace a weapon's mastery property with another one, that weapon must meet any prerequisite specified for the new property. Awesome. Oh, cool. So the prerequisites that kind of already... Okay, cool. So Cleave. If you hit a creature with a melee attack using this weapon, you can make an attack roll with the weapon against a second creature within 5 feet of the first that is also within your reach. On a hit, the second creature takes the weapon's damage, but don't add your ability modifier to that damage unless that modifier is negative. You can make this extra attack only once per turn. That is sick!
Whoa, wait, you can make this extra attack only once per turn. So you could do it every turn.
Correct, but what it's saying is like if you're a fighter with 4 attacks, you can only do Cleave once.
Well, yeah. I mean, for sure.
Oh, but I see what you're saying. Where you can,
I'm just saying, like in every attack, the fighter's like action surge, and just one of them, he's feeling good. He's like, I'm gonna hit. Like instead of picking which goblin I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna roll to see if I hit both of them, and I'm just gonna prioritize damage on this guy. Pretty much. This one, I'm adding my modifier to. This one, I'm not.
Yes, and so. In some ways, I do think that this can be a little bit. It can be a little bit nasty when it comes to like ramping up more damage output. But you also got to realize this will also apply to your creatures, and I think that overall, this just makes combat feel so much more versatile, and it makes it seem so much more dynamic, and it makes it so that choosing your weapon and that your weapon is actually like an integral part of your character. Because now, you want to wield a massive weapon. It's like, okay, it's not just doing more damage, but you can do more things. Which now, let's see. Cleave. Let's see what weapons have cleave.
It says heavy property. So let's see.
So nothing in simple has that. So I think it's only getting martial. So you have cleave, which is going to be the great axe.
Yeah.
Oh, greatsword only has graze. Interesting.
Yeah. Cleave is great axe halberd, which I am good with because I love halberds. Where's my boy Glaive at? How's he looking at this one? Graze. All right, we better figure out. Okay.
So I think it's just 2.
I need to figure out what graze means real quick. Some of my boys are in there.
All right. I think it's just 2 though. I think cleave is just great axe and halberd.
Yes, it looks like it's just those 2. But of course, I mean, it seems like a complete table, but perhaps I have more weapons. I mean, they have fucking a musket on this list.
They did. Yeah. They added those. I do remember that they were talking about. Okay, so let's just keep going then. Grace, there you go for your boy.
If you would, go ahead. If you roll, if your attack roll with this weapon misses a creature, you can deal damage to that creature equal to the ability modifier you use to make the attack roll. The damage is the same type as dealt by the weapon. The damage can't be increased in any way other than increasing the ability modifier. So even if you miss, you do something.
Yes, and this is actually reminding me of some of the Baldur's Gate stuff too. I feel like they implemented some of these in the Baldur's Gate, which I remember.
I'm sure there was probably some vice versa.
Yeah,
Baldur's Gate was being developed. They were probably chatting,
or even just the common sense rule of like this makes sense because I mean I had a mace in Baldur's Gate that had the ability tenacity. It's like you miss, you can use your reaction to deal damage. This one obviously
exactly. This is Well, Cleave, same thing. One of my characters in Baldur's Gate. And by one of them, I mean 3 out of the 4 I use, all have cleave as an ability. And that's why I was kind of surprised, because in Baldur's Gate, a lot of these things that are here kind of being represented by the mastery properties are like once per short rest. And a lot of these seem like it's once per turn. Yeah, well, it's not bad.
It's not bad. And I would say even something you can maybe even do to kind of draw this back if it does become to get out of hand a little bit. You can even do like once per combat if you wanted to too. That way it's not necessarily reliant on a rest, but I do think that these aren't significant enough. I think cleave is pretty strong.
I think cleave's good, but it's also it is situational.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and I do.
Like, it's in the own way. You have to be within range of this guy, and you have to be within 5 feet of each other.
Well, but I also like too is that for cleave especially, like I mean to be fair, I feel like it kind of gives you a fighting chance because. How many times, like if you're in combat and you're the tank, you're up there and there's 5 people surrounding you. It's like, dude, cleave giving you a little bit of an edge is like nothing compared to having 4 creatures just start ganking the shit out of you while they're surrounding you.
Absolutely.
So for Graze though, so
I like Graze.
I do too, except for you deal damage to that creature equal to the ability modifier you use to make the attack roll. This damage is the same type. Oh, this damage is the same type as the weapon. So if it's slashing, it's slashing. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yes. What I do like about Grays is it gives marshals anything that kind of resembles auto hit magic missile. Like something it's going to do damage. It's not going to do a ton of damage, neither is magic missile, but it's going to hit.
Hold on, real quick. Wait, real quick though. Hold on. Either they missed the sentence, but it says there is no limitation to this. It does not say you can make this once per turn. There's no limitation.
Nope. And as I'm going through, a lot of these do not have stated requirements.
Interesting. But let's see what Gray. So it's Gray. So what weapons have Grays on it?
So you have the glaive. You have the great sword. Nothing. It's all in the marshals. Is where I'm seeing a lot of those.
Yeah, it is.
Looks like I'm saying all of them.
Well, let's see. It also has prerequisites of melee weapon heavy properties. So yeah, a lot of the heavies are going to be in the martial anyway. So great axe and halberd have cleave. Great sword has grays. Glaive has grays, and that's it. But I kind of like this though. So I do like these as well because they are on the two-handed weapons, and two-handed weapon gets rid of your ability to have a shield, which gives you a lot higher AC. It makes it so you having a heavy property, you do need 13 strength at the very least. So if you are dump statting or if your character does not have a lot of strength, you are just locked away from these. Which I like too.
This will be great for barbarian.
Exactly.
Right? But I think they're good. Yeah. I mean, I think they're good, but you're right. They are these are pretty damn good abilities for a very specific type of weapon that you're making a choice having this weapon.
Exactly.
It's not as simple as I have a longsword. It's like, nah, you're picking up the biggest piece of metal you found and you're hitting people with it.
Exactly. No, I agree. And also Nathan said Gray's used up your reaction in BG3, so it's pretty neat to see it without that in the UA. I agree. I think that if any of these were reactions, I think it would give a lot of agency to reaction, but in the same sense, it would just bog down because I mean, in our upcoming arc for here at Min-Max 20, I'm going to be adding some reactions and things to, kind of adding more options for reactions. And so I think that having this not even touch that is really good. Plus, this is honestly just expanding the realm of martial fighters. Generally it's just a fight, fighters that are going to have, well, I'd say generally it'd be a fighter or barbarian that are going to be wielding anything close to heavy two-handed weapons. And so
thinking about Battlemaster Fighter, the amount of abilities that really just open up for them. Yeah. Stacking this with a superiority die, assuming there's nothing in the text that says you can't, because with this, who knows if there's something that says using this you can't use your mastery property, or if there's a thing like that. But assuming there isn't, just doing something that's maybe, say you're using the cleave property, you're cleaving through two people, you're prioritizing the first guy. Also on the first guy, you're trying to disarm him, so you're just dumping damage, taking one guy's weapon out of his hand, killing his buddy to his left.
Yeah, but I like this too because it just makes combat feel so much less like RuneScape, man. Sometimes D&D combat can feel like RuneScape where you're just and it's bro, come on.
He's like, let me roll a d20. I know I need more than 12. Well, I missed. All right, well, somebody else's turn.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Let's check out Nick. The person. Prerequisite, light property. When you make the extra attack of the light property, you can make it as part of the attack action instead of as a bonus action. You can still make this extra attack only once per turn. Whoa. Okay.
So you get to save your bonus action. So as a
that's cool.
Oh, fuck rogues already. That's really good. Because,
that is really good. Wow.
Yeah, what has it? Okay,
let's see it.
Well, they got him in martial. They also have him in simple.
So Nick is dagger, obviously. Nick is going to be light hammer.
A hammer.
Sickle.
Nicking somebody with a hammer.
Yeah, hit a little bit up.
Dunk. Flail. Is sap, sorry. Oh my god. I'm like, flail? But no.
Nick is also with scimitar. And then, short sword has light, but short sword has vex, and not Nick. Interesting. I'm curious.
Right.
And that's what I kind of like about this too, is that they have multiple things, and so it's not just all light weapons have Nick. It's no, there are some light ones that have vex or something else. So that's really cool.
Right. Well, I'm just seeing here Nick on a dagger, great. So you have that. You use that on your offhand, maybe on your, because you want to show like you want a light weapon in your other hand. Maybe somebody depending on what Vex says, maybe you pick up a scimitar and you use that too.
Yeah.
I'm imagining.
Like to have different options if you're dual wielding.
Yeah, absolutely. Which makes like dagger in the offhand is like a very classic choice.
Welcome in, Corey. Good to have you here, my friend. Welcome in. Good to have our mod in the chat. Good to have the police here.
All right, everybody. Stop gambling on the chat. All right, 5-0's here.
I really like that though. And it says you can still make this extra attack only once per turn. Cool.
Yeah, so there's that limiting thing there.
And this is
like
also
grazed in half.
Yes, and I would assume that's intentional in some way. I think it is in the sense, and this is also another thing that I keep in mind too, is that these are mastery properties or mastery. So like and I mean, once we get into characters and the classes and stuff, then maybe we'll see what mastery means, and maybe mastery isn't as common as we think. And so it's really cool because like I'm sure there'll be plenty of instances where like not everyone picking up a sword is gonna have the mastery ability, right? So it's pretty cool that this is it's almost like an advanced tiering of combat essentially.
Right, because you're right. It's mastery. So with the exception of probably some pretty good martial classes, we'll see how early these things actually show up for a character.
Exactly.
Corey,
as I talked to the chat and the consensus, we want to hear about cleric updates. Do not worry. We will get to cleric. And,
I'd be worried.
Maybe not today, but we will at some point. I'm not entirely sure I don't think cleric is actually in this playtest that we're gonna go through.
Really?
I think no. I think it's in 6. I think.
Oh, gotcha.
But you know what? Stick around. Maybe it'll come up. Maybe we'll just jump over there just for you, big boy. All right, let's go on to push. Prerequisite: heavy, two-handed, or versatile. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, just if you hit a creature with this weapon, you can push this creature up to 10 feet straight away from you if it's large or smaller. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
I would like to assume
push.
It doesn't say if there's any contested roll. Doesn't say anything about that. It just says if you hit him, you push him.
Wait, does it say once per turn?
Nope. I read it in its entirety.
Oh, okay.
Nope. You can hit him, and you can push him 10 feet.
All right.
You're Eldritch blasting with a fucking two-handed hammer.
Okay, that's okay. Now with that, I feel like they might have forgot to add a sentence to that one.
Push. The pike has push, which that makes some sense.
Great Club has push.
Warhammer.
Yeah. Let's see. Push pike. Push Warhammer. Yeah, then I think
push on the pike sounds insane because you have all that reach anyway.
The pike? Oh yeah.
Pike has it, yeah. So just like they get you just jab someone 15 feet away from you essentially because they can't get,
Yeah, hold on. I'm also curious too because I feel like some of these have changed stats. Like, where's the pike in this one? The pike
is 1d10 piercing.
Okay, so still 1d10 piercing. It still has reach. What else do we have? Okay, maybe not. Maybe it's not as changed.
And in the book, it's the same exact as it is in D&D 5.
Okay. I just honestly I don't think I've ever actually read the word pike in the player's handbook.
That is okay and understandable. Not many people make the Flanix build.
But that's what I love about this, man. They're making things relevant, and I love that, man. It's like they're making weapon choices matter. And, it's so cool. Wizards.
I found sorry, I skipped ahead and read, and I just found the nastiest combo possible. I'm really excited for it. You hit somebody with a pike, you push him back 10 feet, you get a longbow, somebody else shoots him with their proficient, they put the slowed ability on him.
Oh shit, you are reading ahead, huh? This motherfucker's reading ahead. Real quick, would push synchronize with Sentinel, or does it not proc with force movement? I'm pretty sure, I would home rule Sentinel not to proc with force movement. I don't know if it... Yeah, that's why we're here. Let me look it up. Let me see what Sentinel says. I don't think it specifies, but for Sentinel, but I would say force movement would not proc Sentinel. Like if you're pushing something, in my mind, that'd be kind of disgusting if you could push something and then be like, haha, you're on my range, and start speeding the shit out of them. It's like, okay. Sentinel, where are you?
Are you looking for it on this?
No, No, I'm looking for it in my book. So it says you've mastered technique. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes... Nope, that's not it. Creature provoke opportunity attacks from you, even if they take disengage. When a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack against you, you can use your action to make a melee attack. Okay, so... No. Because technically Sentinel says when you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, the creature's speed becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. So that's a very... It's a very, what's the word? It's a very, specific circumstance for that, so it would not sync with Sentinel. So, okay.
Well...
Because it's specifically if somebody's leaving your range and you're getting an opportunity attack and you're basically stopping them from moving, it wouldn't count.
Right.
It wouldn't count. And then if they hit somebody within 5 feet of you can hit them, but like you're pushing them, so I don't think it falls within the realm.
I'm more just curious what it says in the text, because right now the mastery properties are very like this is what it does, but it doesn't tell you like kind of where those fit in. Like I would almost say that most of these mastery properties don't make sense for an opportunity attack. But also, I don't know. It doesn't say necessarily where those fit in when you're just beating a bitch with a stick, you know?
Well,
are you getting to use your ability on that? Because, again, as we heard, Graze, it sounds like if the target has 30 AC and there's a fighter who wants to action surge and just dump all his swings on somebody, he will miss every time and still do damage for all those hits. You know, which is a bad thing, but I'm just wondering if there's any language in there that says where mastery goes and like how to apply those abilities, you know, just where the boundaries are. Because I want to find out where the boundaries are so I can break the game within those boundaries.
Yeah, because then it never said... Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there might have been a couple sentences left off of these, in my personal opinion, only because push is kind of insane. And Graze is kind of insane in the realm of like infinite amount of times used. But if that's not the case, then I feel like it is in control in some way. I do think that if I was running this and and all of these were in the within the confines of extra attack only once per turn, if you wanted to save your cleave for an opportunity attack, I would let that happen because it's once per turn. Well, no, because I guess your turn is when it comes to the initiative. Whereas if it's outside of your turn for an opportunity attack, it wouldn't count in theory.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. This might be something specifically we'll have to dive into later, or perhaps they just haven't released the proper full list of what they intend for this. But
yeah. And then real quick, before we move on to SAP, let's see. We have, at least not in the traditional sense, like within the same term, a push would make it even harder to stay in someone's 5-foot bubble.
Right. Related to that, I read a build somebody made with a Sentinel feat, and they were playing some form of Warlock. I'm pretty much a Warlock, so on their turn, they would Eldritch Blast somebody away. Then during their reaction, when somebody would run up, they'd opportunity attack. Stop the guy. They created a treadmill essentially.
Polearm Master allows you to make opportunity attack when a creature enters your range, so you could have two marshals pushing a mob to each other and getting an extra attack with their reaction. Yeah, this honestly, I love that. I love that y'all in the chat are just like immediately like, yo, wait, hold on, like, dude,
that's the point of the rules. It's
exactly.
Like, all right, tell me what I can do, because I'm gonna read the fine print and get you on a technicality.
And I think, and then. Could be
it's also DM's discretion.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of this stuff, like, I mean, as DMs, we can't think of everything. So sometimes it's like one of those, like, in the moment, like, I'm gonna do this, and you're like, oh, okay, hold on, or you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Could be an annoying combination with Spirit Guardians, push to keep people away, hit with reach, stay in 15 feet, and if they close within 10, that's another hit. See, this is
we're min maxing, baby.
Hey, here at min to max 20.
Yeah.
Hey, if we're not called min to max 20, if we do not support our min maxers, and that is just how it works.
The best way for a campaign to end is the DM realizing that he can't hurt the player. You know, like that's ideal. It's just like I either need to drop a moon on them or rebalance.
All right, let's continue here. So SAP, prerequisite, versatile property or no weapon property. No weapon property. If you hit a creature with this weapon, that creature has disadvantage on its next attack roll before the start of your next turn. Mm-hmm. Oh boy, what do we got? What's got SAP on it? Let's find the fuck out.
Scimitar has nope. I'm wrong.
SAP.
Ignore me. War pick.
Oh, okay. Mace, spear.
Flail.
I like the idea of mace having SAP, where you just beam a dude in the noggin. You're like, yep. Anyway, enjoy that.
Dunk. Anyway.
Oh, Sap has...
Catch you later, nerd.
Yeah, Sap has flail. Long sword has Sap. Wait.
Morningstar has it. Warpick has it.
So they kind of threw a couple of these in from
Spear.
Yeah, so I'd say longsword and spear are kind of weird for that. I do really enjoy the fact though that a lot of the bludgeoning ones have it, where you just bonk them and it just makes them suck for a second. Warpick, yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean, it makes even like a piercing, like like you just take that damage and like I almost interpret it as like you hit them in like a specific part of the arm or something with those other weapons or something. Where just like you like wound their arm, their main offensive arm.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Also,
I like the trying to be on the broke build train before it's patched. It's not a video game is the best part. You just ignore it if it gets patched. Just like don't inform your DM that it was patched,
That's why whenever we do session 0 and like people are like, yo, so I was digging in Unearthed Arcana, I'm like, hold on, let's go to the verbiage and let's all just understand this is playtest material. Some of this shit is in fact busted. So there
was some of that I'll say for the Red Mire hunt where someone's looking in UA and I immediately felt like I needed a cigarette. I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, dude.
Let's figure it out, buddy. Let's see what's going on.
Yeah, there's nothing quite as daunting as someone being like, yo, especially when they're like, yo, I'm gonna play this race from Unearthed Arcana, then I know something's wrong. Then I know that they're gonna have like 47 abilities and 17
Yeah, it says
covered.
actually this creature, the cool thing is it has this ability where naturally it has 18 AC and it always has like advantage to hit. Like it's just like a race roll ability. Anyways, I'm playing a rogue.
Yeah. You're like, what? Also, the flesh crevice. Thank you for following.
Wait, I thought you were reading the book. I want that mastery right now. Get the Warpick with the flesh crevice ability.
The flesh crevice, yeah.
I mean, we haven't looked at Warlocks yet. They might have it as an invocation.
They might. So you were saying you already read ahead to slow, so go ahead and enlighten us, my friend.
Oh, slow is, I like it. If you hit a creature with this weapon and deal damage to the creature, you can reduce its speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. If you hit the creature more than once with this property, the speed reduction does not exceed 10 feet, which is good enough.
If you hit a creature...
Pretty much, if they had 40 feet of movement, you hit them with this, they have 30 feet of movement. Yeah.
I really like that. Actually.
It's a good combination, especially... Well, it's just more taxing the slower an enemy is, right? Like, a lot of monsters, especially a lot of bigger monsters, sometimes are kind of slow moving. So hitting them with this, slowing them down, if you have like a ranged focused party, because this is on the it's on the heavy crossbow, it's on the longbow, it's on the musket, it's on a couple of it's on the whip, which is
welcome in, Kenner. Welcome in. Hey, good to have you, boys. And
always
girls,
good to have you
hanging out with us, hanging out in the tavern. So. Yeah, we got that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I like slow. I'm like I'm glad you're paying attention to the folk because I'm just like slow's pretty cool, man. Just because it's not like imposing advantage disadvantage. It's not doing anything aside from like changing the tactical situation.
No, and I agree.
Someone's slower. You have a ranged party. You just you depending on like how much of a resource this ends up being when you get into the masteries. Maybe multiple people with longbows, only one person does it a turn. You just kind of buy yourself, maybe a round or two more of combat before whatever that big lumbering thing is gets over to you.
Yeah, and what I also really like about that too is that it kind of takes into the account like the amount of inertia you're getting hit with. Like if you get hit by a longbow, like you're not gonna be like I'm chilling. It's like it takes into account like that you're getting hit with this projectile, and it's like you almost have to like, okay, holy shit, let me like get over this.
Yeah. Like it wasn't a heavy object, but it was moving very fast, and it stopped very suddenly in your chest.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
It's putting a force on you. But it had it, I believe, on the light crossbow as well, and like for things like that, I mean, in my mindset, it's just. It could be like you shot them in a proper location. Might not be as strong of a hit, but like maybe you just did the classic like again back to the Baldur's Gate thing. You hamstring shot him.
Yeah.
You did something like that.
Also, real quick, I think I should, just looking at chat, I should probably add a command where you can roll a d20 and then it adds, and it just makes it, and it just gives an output from 1 to 20. That'd be pretty cool. So good idea.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. And what I also really like about this too,
until then everybody gets 20s.
Free natural 20s for everybody, or dirty 20s. But that's only or naughty 20s. There's 3 different kinds here on our channel. Yeah. But no, and I also really like that. I really like how slow is also on clubs. I feel like clubs have never been used. So
no, I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, like clubs have been there for somebody to start off. Like my character starts getting out of jail and I picked up a stick. You know, like people use a club till they get a better thing. And now, like, you know, maybe the club's just there and you're going to change it out for something better, considering it does, 1d4 bludgeoning. But it also has a thing it does.
Right. Also, just for those new into the chat, also just keep in mind that I need to adjust the stream elements settings, because I feel like sometimes they're pretty strict right now. I see that a couple people are trying to like say certain things, but then stream elements is like, oh, you want to put 5 caps in it? Yeah, I can delete it. So I'll try to increase those thresholds so it's not so strict next time. But just keep in mind that you are being under heavy scrutiny with stream elements at the moment. So just keep that for what it is.
You guys get free 20s, but we are also like just locking it down inadvertently. So you know.
But yeah,
it goes both ways.
Yeah, I do, like you were saying. I think it's pretty cool that they add, like, it almost as a DM puts you into the ability to like put some less commonly used items into the game just for exploration purposes too. Now, also on the same token, these are mastery, and so like just picking up a club won't actually give you the ability to do this. But depending on your class. But I think slow.
Again, I can't help but speculate what gives you these abilities. Like when those are coming.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I agree. I'm really curious as to when, and how you get them. But slowing on the club, javelin. I like javelin. Javelin's kind of similar to what I was saying with the actual bow. It's like it stops you. But that's about it, right? Oh, there's whip. Ooh, a whip.
Yeah, whip. Yeah, exactly. So maybe similar thing. You just get them funky in the leg. You just Charlie horse them with a big old bull whip. Makes walking hard.
Yeah, I like that. Cool. All right,
that's good.
Let's keep cooking here. Topple. Topple. Heavy, reach, or versatile property. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, let me read it first. But if you hit a creature with this weapon, you can force the creature to make a Constitution saving throw. And that's kind of why I went, because this is the first one I've seen that it's not an auto hit. This is the only one I've seen where it does anything else. But Constitution saving throw, DC equal to 8, plus your proficiency, plus the ability modifier. On a failed save, the creature has the prone condition. It does not state, like some of the other ones have, large or smaller. Feel free to walk up to your local dragon and knock its ass on the... But it has to make the saving throw is also that too, which is a Constitution saving throw. So things like that traditionally have a saving throw, and getting into the language of it, they might have different things they'll have for these monsters in this update, but...
Yeah, and
I like that. The prone condition's good. Like,
well, and I think that is
better than sap.
I was gonna say, I think that this has to do with mainly because the prone, like pushing a creature back, in some way, it's like, okay, it creates that distance, and you can maneuver a little bit more. But I feel like knocking a creature prone gives them a condition, and the prone condition, you get advantage on your attacks and all this, all these other things. And so I think that's the reason why they probably have a saving throw, because knocking something prone, especially since knocking a creature prone is an ability, is a maneuver inherently, I think, within the fighter. So them just giving it to a weapon,
Sorry, I just briefly looked at chat and just completely forgot what you were saying.
I think that there's
I think there's a ceremony happening.
Yeah, I think that.
I feel like I'm being rude actually mentioning it.
Hold on. hey, it's a tavern, bro. You never know what's gonna happen or what's going down. Right. So I'm
ordained. I'll officiate.
Oh shit.
But I will say this: just again, topple goes to the trident. Sap, the kind of auto damage, goes to the spears. So I will say sap's really good, but I still say trident's better than spear in this one. Does a little bit more damage, and I like topple better.
And what's actually I find interesting about this too is that it is a con save. Did you notice that?
Yes,
It's not like a dex
yeah.
save or it's not like a strength save. It's a con save, which is interesting.
Yeah. I like that. Especially because like if you think of people who have low con, just like if you go like through the D&D classes, like who has low con is just going to get, well, low con is I think the name of a Mortal Kombat character, but who has low constitution, I'm pretty sure, it's like you're just pretty much beating the shit out of wizards and like clerics and everybody else who just like didn't really specify it, but like your rogue and such, like they're going to get punished by this when the enemies have it. Like everybody who's like kind of a more nimble character who might be on the front lines is gonna, and by going to I mean I will have my enemies with this ability try using it on them, and then the people who are on the front line, like your paladins or a fighter, things like that, your barbarians, it's a con save too. They're not really going to be rocked by this. I mean, they might, but they have a better shot.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You're the worst healer. Says the Flesh Crevice. I do want to point out the Flesh Crevice has a point. He still is there, so you did not heal well.
Well, to be fair, they mentioned that you wounded my heart, so I guess then that's in
yeah, it's also medical.
Yeah, medical terminology. No, I think, and I do like the quarterstaff as topple, the battle axe as topple. Interesting. Lance. Oh shit, dude. They watch out.
Yeah.
Sir Denrick, bro. He's gonna start knocking people in their ass.
Lance is a fun one because if you think about doing it from horseback.
Oh, you just
like
smack.
Yeah.
Yo, that's actually pretty strong.
Put him in the earth.
Yeah, and you know what actually is interesting too is I would assume so, but if they throw the weapon, I would assume they'd get the mastery property. Like if you threw the trident and it smashed into them, would you give them the topple? Or would you think it'd be more of like has to be like in the hands martial kind of maneuver?
I think, again, I think reading it, I would give it to them if the weapon has a thrown property.
Okay. Like the trident does,
Yeah, which the trident does, the lance does not, I hope. It does not. All right, just want to make sure. Two-handed or less mounted, I like that specification for the lance, and only the lance. Two-handed unless
mounted. Oh yeah, cool.
So,
yeah.
So that way, they want you to have a shield, but there's nothing that says you can't have a hand crossbow. Kisses back with the Riz. Okay. Okay. The patrons are getting rowdy.
It's okay. Let them enjoy their drinks. By the way, if y'all want to
cook.
Hey, by the way, if y'all rowdy individuals want to, if you want to drink. Oh, does Minimax 20 not get the ability to do that? Oh, wait, no, sorry. It's not that one. It's order drink. There, it's this. Oh.
Nox got the 24. You're doing good, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Anyway, y'all can figure it out. It's exclamation point order drink.
Yeah.
Is I think what it works.
Yeah. I will say here real quick, this is the last one, is the Vex. If you hit a creature with this weapon and deal damage to the creature, you have an advantage on your next attack roll on the creature before the end of your next turn.
Oh my god.
It doesn't have to be the first attack until, like in a multi-attack. You can hit them, do damage, instead of doing like Blade Ward or whatever waste of a, action there is. You hit them and do damage, and then also give yourself advantage to hit them again. And I also want to note, we have no idea what the limit on mastery is. There's no reason you can't hit him with a Vex, the next turn hit him with a Vex, the next turn hit him with a Vex. And you just kind of create a cascade where,
they
don't want to take an opportunity attack, so they're just going to sit there as you just have advantage the whole time. And of course you're a rogue, because you planned this. And let's see actually what has Vex. But, well,
yeah, so...
Low gun, so watch out.
And let's see.
Rapier.
What is this? What is this? This man said, I'm content. Okay, so it says if you hit a creature with this weapon and deal damage to the creature, you have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end. Next attack roll. So it can be ranged as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what has Vex? So hand axe has Vex.
Rapier.
Dart short bow has Vex. Oh, interesting. So the short bow. What does the longbow have? I don't think I actually even looked.
Longbow had slow.
Longbow. It did.
Pistol has Vex.
Oh, thank God.
Musket has slow. Yeah.
Pull out the gat. The straight up Glock.
So I'm just imagining a swashbuckler rogue with the Vex rapier just annihilating because he constantly has advantage. for everything he does.
Yeah, well, I feel like a lot of our hopes and dreams for min-maxing are going to be crushed when it's like you don't get mastery for shit. You have to like do 500 in-game days while you're doing your campaign to learn this. Also, Nathan said, looking at Vex seems to imply that after your first hit, you're pretty much always going to have advantage against that creature. Yep. I cast 9th level Glock, exactly. Hey, it doesn't specify what kind of pistol. So it's a 21st century modern handgun. It does 1d10. Hey, it's 250 gold pieces, though.
Right. Well, I mean, 250 gold pieces, but also muskets, pistols. It depends on your world if they exist in it, right? For the DM. But if like a player wanted to make a build around it, well, actually, no. Honestly, I think I might let it just happen.
What,
but that's more
Glock?
just me.
Wait, a 21st century Glock?
Not a Glock, a flintlock.
Oh.
No, yeah, no. Like, but if the player wanted a pistol or a musket, as it says here, and like, I like the abilities they have, I like the damage they do, I like, the mechanics of the weapon.
Yeah, well, so yeah, that's a conversation we could potentially have for the world that, our homebrewed world. I wouldn't be opposed.
I'm just saying in general.
Right, but I'm even thinking like I wouldn't even be opposed to necessarily them being like a very rare thing, but then be like relevant, almost like, still like a, you could find them like, in like the deep crannies of the world. I think that's it though.
The what?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's the end of them. Then we hit the adventuring gear, which starts off with net and gets interesting from there. But
okay.
They're there.
We can go through rules glossary later. I want to get to some of these classes, so let's go.
What page do you want to start off here, Kimasabi?
Literally top page 1.
Okay.
Barbarian. Yep.
Got you. Okay.
Let me go ahead and drag up.
Actually, I never even read. Let me read briefly what's inside. Nationwide. It's on my side. Just 5 classes. So I guess might as well talk about this now. 5 classes here: Barbarian, Fighter, Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizards. That's in this playtest 7 that was released. Revised some spells, weapons. We went through weapons. I think they talked about revised version of ability score improvement, some rule stuff. Okay, so we got 5 of the classes here to go through, and frankly, 5 of the more interesting ones to me.
Sorry, Corey. Looks like we're not getting the cleric. At least not in the near future. There was a change to attack actions that might be good to look out after talking about weapons. All right, never mind. We're going back. Hold on. Apparently, there's a change to actions. Let's go back. Hold on. Scroll.
Going, baby.
Okay, action. Here we go. When you take the attack action, you can make 1 attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. Equipping and unequipping weapons. You can either equip or unequip 1 weapon when you make an attack as part of this action. You do so either before or after attack. If you equip a weapon, or if you equip a weapon before an attack, you don't need to use it for that attack. Equipping a weapon includes drawing it from a sheath, picking it up, or retrieving it from a container. Unequipping a weapon includes sheathing, stowing, or dropping it. I like how it took till 2022, and this game's been out for 90 years, for them to specify drawing and putting away and stowing weapons in combat.
I think it's in there just vaguely. We were just talking about the throne property. It makes sure to specify part of this action is drawing it.
Exactly.
Throwing it. Like, that's part of it. So, and the 5e, it just said, throw it, I guess. I mean, you read the property, do it.
Right. And then it says moving between attacks. If you move on your turn, you can use some or all of that movement to move between the attacks of this action if you have a feature, such as extra attacks that give you more than 1 attack as part of the action. I think that was the same, so...
Yeah. Just like, you get to attack this guy. If he dies, you get to use your movement to go to the next guy to use your other attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, if you're shooting, you shoot and scoot or whatever you're doing there.
Thank you, Kenner, for following the channel. We appreciate your support and having you here. Was that the biggest? Was that it? Actually, I wonder if this is just the additional revisions, and I wonder if there's actually more to this attack action that they don't specify in a previous Unearthed Arcana. But you let me know if that
either equip or unequip.
If that was it, Nathan, and we can go from there. Hey, yo, chat's getting unruly.
Yeah, I mean, Yes, they are. And
well,
you know what?
Stream Elements
Good
is
on 'em.
Stream Elements is trying its best to contain, but it's
I haven't I have like a small sliver of the chat available underneath like our Discord. So I see like every other message, and now I'm just going up and just saying so many deleted messages.
Ayo.
Theirs was a slaughter.
Hey, I'm coming for Stream Elements too. After this, I will literally go through and adjust the some of the spam restrictions, and so that way you guys can have a little bit of fun instead of being in a totalitarian state with Stream Elements just bogging down the party.
Yeah, if it was my say, I'd tighten my fist, but
he said actually, one cap too much.
Yeah. No, pretty much I'd make you have to like one syllable per message. Sound it out.
With swapping weapons being significantly easier, imagine that you can find some nasty combos with these masteries. Oh yeah, exactly. And I do like that. I do like they are finally specifying that, and they're making it and they're letting that more freedom, because that's what I even fleshed it out in some homebrew notes and stuff of like how you can swap things out. And so it's nice that they're finally in the actual game mentioning that. Okay.
I will say this. I like how weirdly specific they got about like what it means drawing a weapon, because I know for sure if something would happen, someone's thrown on the ground, they like, oh, there's a club in a box next to me. Due to the language of this, somebody can open up the box, pick up the club, swing the club, part of the attack. It's not part of like, oh, I guess you could use your free object interaction to pick it up. It's like, it says here, it's part of the attack.
Exactly.
They have a club now. They beat someone's ass with their club. Now they can free object interact, loot the body, as we intend.
I agree. No, I think it's really good that they specified that and make it so it could be pretty dope. All right, let's do this thing. For all you barbarian players out there, let's jump into this. So I'm not going to read all the flavor text because I feel like that's something you can do on your
primary ability, strength.
Oh yeah, I think they switched that from charisma. Okay, first things I'm kind of jumping ahead here. First thing looking though, it says weapon proficiencies are simple martial, but I'm not seeing anything in this that says masteries. So I am curious if masteries is definitely something you have to get much later. Oh, wait, hold on. Level 1, it says weapon mastery. Where is it?
Let's see here. So starting equipment, multi-classing, abilities for minimums. Class features, level 1 rage.
Armor training.
Damage resist. Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, I got it. So if you go past that list where it lays out, so I'm on page 4 now.
Wait.
Level 1 weapon mastery. Your training with weapons allows you the mastery property of 2 kinds of simple or martial melee weapons of your choice.
Okay.
When you reach certain levels of this class, you gain the ability to use mastery properties of more kinds of weapons. So this it's actually on the chart, kind of like for a spellcaster with cantrips. Weapon mastery grows from 2 at level 1 to 4 at level 20, and you hit 4 at level. You hit 4 at level 11.
For weapon masteries?
So you have 4 weapons, you can get masteries. 4 weapon masteries.
And then it does, but what's also crazy is whenever you finish a long rest, you can practice weapon drills and change one of those weapon choices. That's kind of.
Where do you see that?
That is right. That is right after it says that. It says whenever you finish a long rest, you can practice.
Oh, the rest of the sentence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that is for me personally is where I might differ. I feel like having weapons that your character through backstory things and through just a bunch of different contexts, different whatever, right? I feel like it'd make more sense that you have mastery in certain weapons and you don't just change those willy-nilly. But that's what I personally feel like I would implement. Is I would lock them down because I feel like the masteries are really good. Yeah. So to switch them literally just because it's kind of tough to like validate.
No, for sure. Sorry, I just saw what the Flesh Crevice said. But no, brutal critical. And it's not, I just wanted to double check, it's not a subclass ability, it is a barbarian ability. All that means is when you score a critical hit with a weapon using strength or an unarmed strike, so if people want to punch the shit out of things, it's on the table, a target takes an extra 1d12 extra damage of the same type dealt with. That goes up as, that's level 9. I just saw it mentioned in the chat, so I scrolled ahead a little bit. Starting at level 9, it increases the amount of damage barbarians do with a critical hit. and it scales up higher. It gets higher and higher. It starts at 2d12. By 17, it's 3d12 extra crit damage.
Nice. That's pretty dope. All right, let's go in order, damn it.
Well, sorry, I just thought mentioned. I'm like, there's a thing called brutal critical. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, there is, but
I'm gonna give the people what they want.
Okay, here we go. So rage. Yes, the brutal critical was. I want to say was a feat, if I'm not mistaken, and it was based off your weapons die. It was like an additional weapons die. Now it's built into Barbarian. So let's real quick go through. So I do want to look at the Barbarian updates just because it kind of gives abbreviated things. Danger Sense returns to level 2. Now works even if you are blinded or deafened. That's awesome. Actually, let's just go through. Let's not read those. Let's just go through it all the way.
Yeah, because I think those are based off some of the versions.
Yeah.
I have not been privy to.
Okay, so level 1, Rage. If you imbue yourself with power... Yes, okay, we got it. You can enter as a bonus action, provided you aren't wearing armor, while active your Rage has the following effects. Damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Ooh. Rage damage, when you make an attack with a weapon using strength or unarmed strike and deal damage, you gain a bonus that damage decrease. Yep. Strength advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. No concentration or spells. You can't maintain concentration and you can't cast spells. The rage lasts until the end of your next turn, and it ends early if you don heavy armor or have the incapacitated condition. If your rage is still active on your next turn, you can extend the rage for another round by doing one or more of the following. Make an attack roll against an enemy, force an enemy to make a saving throw, or take a bonus action to extend the rage. Oh. Yes.
We both had a eureka moment there.
Yes, dude, finally.
I was reading that, I'm like, dude, what do you mean one turn rage? Then I checked, there's 2 rages level 1, but that makes, you got, 2 turns to do anything worthwhile, but no.
On the next page, it says each time the rage is extended, it lasts until the end of your next turn. You can maintain a rage for up to 10 minutes. You can enter your range a number of times. That's awesome, though, because I think it was dumb as shit that you literally were like, I have to be just constantly soaking damage or fighting, or else it goes away. I love that you can take a bonus action to extend your rage. I also love that they're adding more agency to other actions for marshals. Mm-hmm. That is one thing I'm really looking for, really enjoying this right now, is that martial classes who get shafted constantly because they don't have 500 spells they have in their arsenal, I feel like are now finally getting a major overhaul and making it so they can just do more things on their turn, whether it's through weapon masteries or, for instance, the Barbarian just extending his rage just for funsies. I love that. Real quick, I'm gonna just compare the Barbarian to this last one and see if anything is different.
Okay. If you excuse me for 1 minute, I did drink 50 gallons of water.
All right, go do your thing.
But please let me know if you find any discrepancies going back and forth.
Cool.
What changed.
Sounds good. You have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. When you make a melee weapon attack using strength, you get bonus damage. You have the same versus blood. Yep, you have the same. Interesting. Oh, hey, so real quick, if you are able to cast spells, you can't cast them or concentrate on them while raging. And in the Unearthed Arcana, the new Unearthed Arcana, you cannot at all cast spells. No concentration or spells. Interesting. I kind of like that, though. I feel like that makes sense. I like that. And then your rage lasts for 1 minute, but now it's 10 minutes. Once you've ranged a number of times, yes. So that's the only thing. The biggest thing is they changed is, hey, welcome back. So in OG still doesn't matter for a bear barbarian. True, barbarian. Yeah, true. No, so they actually changed it so you can the new Unearthed Arcana concentration or spells at all. Before there was just no concentration, but you could cast spells. Now they're just strictly, you're muted, by the way. You are muted. Cannot hear you. Try that
That's
again.
Ideal. I was saying horrible things. No, that makes sense.
Yes,
I don't think people normally people wouldn't cast spells as a barbarian, but now that's just not a thing. But it does look like rage is a little bit more, not more worthwhile, but it looks like you get a little bit more for your rages here.
Right.
So that makes sense.
So if a barbarian down a goblin with the rest of the combat is more than 80 feet away, we can use bonus action to continue rage, and we can still benefit from spells we cast that don't involve concentration. No, so now as a bonus action, you can continue your rage, Sharky, consistently. So if if you need to haul ass across the battle, you can just use your bonus action to stay raging. But then they cut so that if you as a barbarian, you cannot cast no concentration or spells while raging at the very least. You could still be a barbarian with spells, but you cannot be raging, so it'd have to be kind of almost like different styles of combat, which is a good thing to note. So you could still be a barbarian with spells, just you cannot rage and get all these insane benefits while also shooting magic missile out your ass, because that would be kind of insane.
It's ideal, but it is insane. 1 second here. I wanted to double check. Barbarians, do they normally have to hit to maintain their rage?
Yes, they
Yeah, so now it just says make an attack roll.
Oh, well, actually, no, I apologize. To maintain your rage, I want to say it ends early if you are knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile. So you could attack.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you didn't have to deal damage.
I just wanted to make sure.
I like that.
It's my only exposure to barbarians. I haven't played barbarians. We haven't had one in our parties for a while from my end.
Right.
But again, unfortunately, there's always discrepancies back and forth. I think a lot of us know a lot of the classes we haven't played via Baldur's Gate, and it's a very good, disturbingly good parallel, but there's things that are different. So.
Exactly. Okay. Unarmored defense. While you aren't wearing any armor, your base armor class equals 10 plus your dex and con. You can use shield and still gain this benefit. Literally, verbatim, same thing in the OG 2014
yes,
version.
absolutely.
Weapon mastery. This is really obviously new. We jumped ahead. We saw this. This is dope. I think that personally, I will probably not allow weapon choices to be changed because it almost goes against the literal verbiage of weapon mastery. You have used the weapon to the point of mastery with that weapon, and so for me, it makes no sense let's finish a long rest and become master in another weapon completely. It's like that's kind of
maybe I'd put it at like a level, like at a level up or something.
Yes,
like maybe the barbarian gets a new. Yeah,
I would do that.
Just so he's using, long rests aren't always sleeping, some practicing, then you're level 5, cool. You also switch from, you were proficient with a great club for, you were using that, cool, but now you have an axe and you can use your mastery too.
Right. Yep, I like that. That's a good idea. Danger sense, you gain an uncanny sense of when things aren't as they should by giving you an edge. You have the advantage on dexterity saving throws, provided you don't have the incapacitated condition. So they specified that. I'm curious. So it says...
These guys are good.
It says danger sense.
Straight up.
Huh?
Sorry, it says these guys are like good. I'm amazed at how solid these guys are. The barbarians, level 2.
Oh, right. So it says you have advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that you can see, such as traps and spells. To gain this benefit, you can't be blinded, deafened, or... That's really weird. Like, it's interesting when you have comparative context while you're like, why would that be the case? You have danger sense. It's like you are literally more in tune with like your surroundings, and you just are like more prone to evade certain things. And so for blinded, deafened to make that null and void is kind of weird. So I'm really glad that they changed that. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but it actually just says you have advantage on dexterity saving throws. Literally does not have to. You do not have to have conditional circumstances of things you can see, such as traps or spells. You just are like
dexterity saving throw. Yep. It could be a boulder coming at you. It could be a spell. It could be whatever it is that's making you have to do it. If it's dexterity, they're gonna shine.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, dexterity is always good, but especially for the barbarian, that's the only thing with the barbarian as I'm looking at it right here, which is true for 5e. But it's just like, yeah, you're juggling your strength, your dex, and your con.
Right.
Everything else could be a 4. But like those three, it's like, none of them are like, all of them you want to be high, and none of them should be neglected.
Yeah.
But this lets you like get away with like not as much dexterity.
Yes.
A little bit. It still affects your AC, but not as much.
It makes it so you don't have to spec 3 stats. It kind of gives you a little bit of a lift. I do like that. But not a lot of damaging spells that another class can't do better. Enlarge would have to be someone else casting, though, right? Isn't that yeah? So basically, the barbarian can obviously, in a rage, still get effects by your casters, but they themselves, if they are a caster, cannot rage and be concentrating. If that makes sense.
Again, all this being said, we don't know what some of their subclasses might look like yet, so we don't know like what other little things might be splashed in there.
Yeah,
I want to think there's anything that's letting a barbarian go size large, but what things might be like.
If they actually, just from Morello in the Frost Trail, if the barbarian was to go Frost or the Rune Knight, and then he could cast Enlarge on himself, and I don't think it takes concentration.
Right. No, I'm saying just these new subclasses here. Like if there's something else going on in here that might not be doing that, but we don't know what other things barbarians are going to be able to play with when you start getting into subclasses.
Exactly. Reckless attack. You can throw aside all concern for defense to attack with fierce desperation. When you make your first attack roll on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on attack rolls using strength until the start of your next turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage during that time.
Your first attack roll.
When you make your first attack roll on your turn, you can decide to attack.
I like that.
Well,
yeah. So if you have extra attack, you know, like you just kind of you're just deciding if you're getting crazy with it, or if you're, you know, you're going to be risking not being able to land more hits.
Well, I think that so I'm really enjoying the verbiage that that Wizards is putting through this. It's clarifying a lot of things. I think that I like that they put it like that, because in theory, it's like if you do your first attack and then the second attack you want to go reckless, you already burnt one of your attacks with advantage, but now everything attacking you has advantage. So it's almost like puts you in the position of like, hey, all or nothing. Like you need to just go for it, and then because it's a very big trade-off of you get advantage on everything, but everything else has advantage on you. So they're kind of making they're wording it in a way to make you have to think it through, which I like, because there's I feel like there's just so many old things. Let's see what reckless attack says before here. I don't even know what it says. Starting at second level, you can throw aside all concern for defense. Okay, whatever. When you make your it actually says this on the OG. When you make your first attack roll on your turn, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so gives you advantage on. Doing so gives you advantage on a melee weapon attack rolls using strength during this turn, but attack rolls against you have advantage until your next turn.
In the updated, it specifies advantage on attack rolls using strength, which normally means melee, but it does leave that option open.
Right. I like that. Level 3 Barbarian subclass. Yep, nothing new.
Which Path of Berserker, Path of the Wildheart, Path of the World Tree, Path of the Zealot.
Yes, and I actually want to say at the very beginning, I didn't mention that they're increasing some of the they're adding with a lot of this stuff, adding in new subclasses too. Where I know Path of the World Tree I've never heard. I've never heard of Path of the Wildheart either, so that's pretty cool. We'll get into those. Real quick though, level 3 says Primal Knowledge. You gain proficiency in another skill of your choice from the list of skills available to barbarians at level 1. In addition, while your rage is active, you can channel primal power when you attempt certain tasks. Whenever you make an ability check using one of the following skills, you can make it as so using one of the following skills, you can make it as a strength check, even if it normally uses a different ability. Acrobatics, intimidation, perception, stealth, or survival. When you use this ability,
use strength while raging to stealth.
Yes.
Just an angry, silent man crawling around on the floor in silence. That's I like. Okay,
but
I like it.
He's doing it quietly. Yeah. He's just mad quietly.
He's fuming, but everyone's just not looking at him.
I expected that list to be a little bit shorter, to be honest.
That's a huge list.
But I kind of like the way they word it though. Primal knowledge. So it's almost like you are in such a state of just like just anger or whatever that you're just like doing a thing. Right. I like the flavor text, and I like the ability for roleplay. You know, it made like it's giving a player the ability to be like, hey, I want to do this, and then the DM's like, all right, what do you do? How does this work? And then they kind of have to talk it out.
Sure, that makes sense to me.
He stands so very still that he's imperceptible to the human eye. He moves so slow the brain doesn't register.
Hell yeah.
No, I do like that. I think that like it's a little weird, but I like it. It's a strange, but it's cool. Hey, anything for marshals. That's all I'm saying. Marshals, give them a leg up, man. They can't cast fireball and blow up 700 people in its town square. Give them something.
Well, if they start cleaving, they can get pretty close.
This also goes back to what you were saying, Connor, with them.
I'm not accountable for the words I say.
Yeah, okay, you wish. No, literally what you were saying where everything else would be a dump stat. Literally, if you were like, if you dumped everything into strength and con, and you just were like, hey, I'm gonna do any task, and I'm gonna rage, you can in theory use your strength for a bunch of other shit.
But also, you're still burning a resource to do it. You have to use your rages. You know, potentially in a situation where you're not in combat, or maybe reading it here, maybe like especially reading the stealth. Or, the perception, like maybe like you're sneaking into the camp, like you're raging on the way in, like you're quiet and you're pissed all the way in.
Well, and they also increased it to 10. They also increased it to 10 minutes. So 10 minutes.
Right, yeah.
That is wiggle room to play with, Whereas before it's like 1 minute, bro. Good luck, mad minute. Just do whatever you can possibly do.
Just running into the front door screaming. Now it's a lot more leeway. I like that.
I like that too. Level 4 ability score improvement.
So you get 4 feats.
Actually, I'm curious. Is that the same as the OG? Did they?
I believe so. I believe Fighter had access to.
It's 4, 8, 12, 16, 19. Let's see here. 4, 8, 12, 16. It is the same. Yes, it is the same. It is the same. Extra attack. You can attack twice instead of once, obviously. Fast speed. Your speed is increased by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor. I feel like that is different. I feel like before unarmored movement. Oh, no, but it is heavy armor. Okay, I thought it was maybe no armor.
Even the rage, it says it specifies heavy armor. You can wear medium armor in rage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Feral Instinct at level 7. Yeah. Your instincts are so honed that you have advantage on initiative rolls. That is one sentence. Let's see what the paragraph of this OG Player's Handbook says. By 7th level, blah, blah. Additionally, if you are... Oh, wait. Yeah, you have advantage on some. Additionally, if you are surprised at the beginning of combat and aren't incapacitated, you can act normally on your first turn, but only if you enter your rage before doing anything else on that turn. So, Feral Instinct does get downgraded a little bit, but also, like, that's just a lot of words that are weird, so I'm not really mad that they got rid of that. So, basically, you can't be... They should have just, instead of saying 400 words, they should have said, you can't be surprised. I don't know why it says, if you are surprised... You're not surprised. It should just say, you're not surprised.
Yeah, well, they got wordy, all right?
Yeah.
The words didn't have to go anywhere. They got wordy.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things like that. This one feels a lot more concise about what it's telling you.
Yes.
Like, fast movement. There's not a paragraph explaining the what, how, and why. Your speed's increased by 10 feet when you're not wearing heavy armor. End of sentence. There's no confusion.
Yeah.
That is it. There you go.
Yep. Instead of like, oh, but under this super sick condition, it's like, okay, no, it's just no.
But I also like.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, that same one.
Go ahead. Hit me with it, bro.
Instinctive Pounce. Yeah, just as part of your bonus action when you rage. So you rage, but also you can move up to half your speed.
Yeah,
that's it. Then you combo that with your you would have gotten fast movement 2 levels before that. So typically 30 feet to 40 feet, you got 20 feet of movement just from raging. And then you have your movement. So like entering a rage doesn't feel, you're getting something out of that aside from also just entering your, fight mode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I think it's just like little things that like you just like you don't realize what you don't know what you don't know. And it's really cool that they're like making more, like they're expanding the horizons of both, but they all fall within the same like constructs of what a barbarian would be. Like this just makes sense with them adding, and so it's cool that they're kind of broadening the horizons, really thinking kind of in a wider lens of what they can add for abilities instead of just like, what they did in 2014 where they just kind of, it just seems like they're a little bit more broad now. Also, a Berserker Barbarian Turtle. It's
fucked up.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. that's we'll just leave it at that. Oh, like you were saying, brutal critical. You score a critical hit with a weapon using strength or unarmed strike. I like how it's an unarmed strike. So if you punch the dude, you're like, how like in your D&D social interaction, you're at the tavern, bro, someone pisses you off, you hit a nat 20. Yeah, you better roll your brutal critical die and hope you don't smash this dude's skull in and kill him on sight.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, there is a certain, like, there's a crazy amount of damage here. And I also like, I like a lot that this could be a subclass. These abilities, I feel like in 5e, would be subclass features. A number of the things we hit here. These would be things like what maybe the Berserker specific barbarian would get, especially brutal critical. And it says like, oh, all barbarians get that. All barbarians, like it's being treated late in the game though. It's coming online 7th level up to 17th. 3 times it grows, but it's something that all barbarians get. It's a similar in a same way to like a sneak attack die. It's not like the barbarian's main thing, but it's like acknowledging you're here to do damage. Criticals, I don't believe there's anything that. Maybe a subclass, but nothing that grows their ability to do critical hits, aside from, using some of the masteries we talked about. But
yeah,
no, it's just adding that extra damage to a barbarian, because barbarians are kind of tanks, sure, but they also do damage.
Yes. Yes.
And it makes crits cooler.
It does. It does. That's yeah. It just makes things cool, man. That's what I'm really enjoying about this. Like the vibe I'm getting from a lot of this is that it just makes things cooler. Also, I'm looking. So the amount of rages you get and the rage damage does scale consistently. However, at level, I like how OG 2014 level 20, you could rage infinite amount of times. You could, in theory, rage forever. Like you could never not exit your rage for the rest.
And
of
you
the days.
should. The establishment.
Yeah,
but
yeah, just down with the machine. They do cap it though. It's 6 for this one, but
yeah,
man.
I mean, let's see what else they get with but just in general.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go ahead and take a look at Relentless Rage, which I think Relentless Rage was maybe a subclass feature, and they might have just embedded it. Your rage can keep you. Oh, good.
No, you're good.
Okay, your rage can keep you fighting despite grievous wounds. If you drop to 0 hit points while your rage is active and don't die outright, you can make a DC 10 Constitution saving throw. If you succeed, your hit points instead change to a number equal to twice your Barbarian level. Each time you use this feature after the first, the DC increases by 5. When you finish a short rest or long rest, the DC resets to 10. I love that.
Dude, at level 11, you get 22 HP. If you're playing a Barbarian, you have resistance to shit. You have functional... You die and instead have 44 hit points, functionally.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't say your rage ends. You don't go unconscious. Your rage is still going.
Right, because it says if you drop to 0, and it's basically like you stay in or you don't. So like if you don't go unconscious. You just like, do I stay up?
You just get so mad the blood goes back in.
That's I love that. Also, well, I killed 2 basilisks purely with brutal critical, and if you have a tragedy bard, if someone in the party gets critical hit against them, all rolls between 18 and 20 are considered critical. What the hell?
Tragedy
Wait, what's
bard.
that?
Is that a new thing, or is that a subclass I missed?
I was gonna say tragedy bard.
I don't believe that must be a new thing, because I know I was looking at bard subclasses just the other day, and yeah, my dramatic ass would immediately gravitate to tragedy bard.
Well, I think. Well, yeah, I was gonna say the flesh crevice. Please enlighten us in what crevice this tragedy bard revealed itself from.
Oh, don't ask it like that.
Oh, okay. School of Tragedy. School. Is that new? What book is this from?
I think it's a sequel to School of Rock.
Oh.
Let me go ahead and look it up right now.
That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, school. It's not in Tosh, I don't think.
School of Tragedy, College of Tragedy, it says. Let's see what it's from. It says 5th edition.
They're gonna pull out their binder of homebrew
source,
shit.
Tal'Dorei campaign setting reborn.
Oh, it's in Critical Role Land. Oh shit.
Yes.
I like that.
Les Crevice, I appreciate you letting us know about that. But I don't see why that. I don't know if they have bards released yet. They don't have it for this edition, but I'm curious what type of things they have. Because it feels like, just reading this, they took like Barbarian, and we're still reading it, and are bringing it online to certain things, like when you have like the new subclasses being released, like for like famously Gloomstalker Ranger, like took Ranger and just added a bunch of subclass stuff that like made Ranger pretty much worth playing. Yeah, and it's like, well, yeah, we're just gonna do it at the fundamental level of just the entire Barbarian, the entire thing, because you can update subclasses, add new stuff through it. It's like, oh, let's just make the foundational fundamental class good. Let's do that. Get it like. Honestly, add a ton to it. Like, there's so many abilities. Multiple things for multiple levels.
No, I agree 100%, and that's what I'm really enjoying, is because you were saying like the power scale was starting to ramp up, but then inherently you have to literally pull this book off your shelf, blow the dust off of it, kind of flip through the crinkly 2014 fucking pages of it and find Ranger.
How often you make sure to go back to the year of, just so you guys know, 2014.
This 2014 edition fucking book is so outdated. So I'm really excited.
Nathan, yes, there's Warlock changes in this UA. I don't know if we're gonna quite get there, but Warlock's in this one too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. DMing's the best, man.
DMing is. You haven't
the first person they meet, and then you just gotta role play it.
you just gotta.
Or you have a normal party.
Yeah, which it just kind of depends. Persistent Rage, level 15. If you roll initiative and have no uses of rage remaining, you would gain 1 expended use of it. In addition, your rage is so fierce that it now lasts for 10 minutes without you needing to do anything to extend it from round to round. Wow. The rage ends early if you have the unconscious condition or don heavy armor.
1 minute. It doesn't say once per long rest. Just if you run out of rages, instead you get rages when you roll initiative specifically.
Yeah, so combat, which is a nice balancing, because like going back to what we were saying with like if you want to rage and use your strength abilities or like strength to offset those abilities, you can't use this in that way. So exactly. I think that's cool.
So that it's level 15. It takes forever. We all hope and pray our player characters ever get to these points. Yeah. But yeah, just being able to like know you can use your rage to like roll intimidation on something that's very important to the story, or do the stealth, do all those other things, and then if combat happens, you're not going to be able to rage before it happens, but as soon as it does, you can use your bonus action to rage, and you can do your feat of movement. What?
I've never had my camera go blurry on me, and it
Oh, it did? Yeah. Because I look at him through a different camera, so I just see his hand go off screen. And
fix yourself, camera. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Nice.
You look perfect. Don't worry.
Thanks. You too. Also, thank you for. I guess. I mean, I'll leave that to the competent people. I guess if we DM, we're competent, but I don't know. Connor floats between the realms.
I'm only competent for TV. All right, I don't.
His brain cells stop fighting. His two remaining brain cells stop fighting, and then he hones it in. I guess we can re-level 18 and 20, even though we'll never see
absolutely.
That. If you're
Be negative now.
Okay, all right. If your total for a strength check or strength saving throw is less than your strength score, you can use that score in place of the total. Okay.
So at this point, level 18, which we're gonna get to level 20 here in a second, but you would have 20. Like reasonably, you'd have 20 strength. I don't see, especially barbarians. I think they would have 20 strength. So if you are rolling an athletics check, you would get a 5 on the die. You're adding your modifiers, but it's not quite 20. So instead, it's 20.
Yeah, and then if you hit level 20, your strength and constitution course increase by 4. So you naturally roll 24 no matter fucking what.
Yeah, I love that. I love that it's level 20 abilities. Like, how can we make like a really good capstone ability? Let's give them 8 more ability score points.
Yeah.
Put into the 2 most important things.
Yep.
That's it. That's the whole pitch.
Primal champion. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And again, not a subclass.
Yeah, just straight up like, here you go. You've worked out so much that here you go. You've done it.
Yeah. If you've been playing Barbarian right, you've been really mad for about 3 years every day.
Yeah.
And you've earned it, buddy.
Yeah.
Do you get a day off? No, you get better at being mad.
Also, listen, I have one campaign. Oh, shoot. I went too fast. I have one campaign that I'm about to reroll my 3rd character in about 2 weeks of in-game time. Holy shit. What the
That, I will say, that feels like our home game that we play, the sci-fi one. Because, buddy, we try, but long rests are sometimes 5 sessions apart. I can see PCs dying within 2 in-game weeks so easily.
Flesh is really good at establishing backstories and can definitely do world building and NPC voices. If need be, she has the ability to make a module for someone that runs the rules that scare her. Yeah, and that's just one of those things where it's like, okay, so there's different kinds of DMs. There's and me and Connor are very opposite sides of the spectrum. I will spend hours writing everything out, and Connor will grab a napkin from Applebee's, write down 7 words, and then run.
I would never go to Applebee's. All right, it's from Five Guys.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, so literally, it's just, yeah, I mean,
it's really just how you keep track of things, however you, as a person, are organized to do stuff.
Yeah, and listen, there is no better people to find and DM for than DMs, and especially forever DMs, because it doesn't matter what game you're running, they're just happy to finally make the character they've been thinking about for 47 years, and then finally be able to play it, so...
I will and again, this is probably just because how you and I are different. that, yes, I'm like, I could finally play that one character I wanted to play. But now, given an option to play a character, I'm instead going to design 10 other characters and end up playing like the third one that came up.
Yeah.
His name's Scrappy, and he has a death wish.
He hates himself. I thought they were trying to shy away from level 20 capstones. I don't know. I didn't hear about that.
No.
Oh, actually, I think I did hear about that, but I don't know what they're doing. I think 20 is a cap, but I think that you can level past 20 and you get things, but I have no idea where, how, what. Yeah. I heard that from, but they might be.
I know in 5e they had boons, which would typically be like you're past level 20, but it wasn't like a leveled thing. It was just like a thing that like an optional thing for DMs, to give players, and they were made for past level 20. Gotcha. I don't know if they expanded on that. I remember reading it, and I think it might be in the DMs or the players' handbook. I believe it's the DMs. I remember reading it there, going neat, but it wasn't like anything that blew me away.
Yeah.
And this like capstone ability, I think this is a capstone ability. It's not like you have the ability to cause an earthquake by jumping, but it's like, again, this is not the subclass. It's level 20 for the entire class, but it's just like the fundamental numbers that make your class really good get a lot bigger.
Yeah, I like that. I like that too. And I'm curious what they do with a lot of the other ones, because they like in the OG 2014 edition of the Player's Handbook, they really
2014.
They some abilities like for instance, there would be something like this where Primal Champion you gain 8 ability score improvements, but then there's also Druid where it's like level 20 you just can shapeshift into literal god. Enjoy. It's like the power difference was so fucking skewed, and you're like, wait, what? So I'm hoping they might have brought all of them in line. Whether that means bringing some down and some up or whatever, I just hope they're kind of all equal, at least in that power scale.
Yeah, I like that Barbarian is non-specific, and I guess we'll see it when we go through other characters. But it's a very non-specific thing.
Yeah,
like it is a general thing that's good. It's not like like once a day you get to like summon your spectral ancestors,
Yeah.
You don't get to, start shouting like Skyrim. You're just like, you just punch hard.
Hell yeah.
Do it.
Also, now my next character is a cute bard named Pompey or Pompey that is trapped and used as a slave, but she was able to convince them that she has D&D aids, so now she's just eye candy. Good for you.
That's smart thinking.
Good for you.
Thinking.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. And just because you lie doesn't mean it's true.
Right. Well, so my question to you is, do you want to go into the Barbarian subclasses, or do we want to go through the different characters, just main classes? Like, do you want to try to break open what would the next one even be? Scroll down and find out. Or
I say what we do is we breeze through some of the subclasses. I think that we should just kind of read them, be like, oh, that's cool, and then just keep going. And then for actual core classes, we'll stop. We'll pace a little bit differently. Plus, I'm thinking for these episodes, because there's so much content, we'll just do 2 hours. Yes. So we'll run another 30 minutes. If that's cool with you.
Whoa.
2 hours, baby.
Yeah, that's.
You got 30 more minutes.
Look, 30 more. I got 30 more hours.
All right, cool. Well, then we'll see.
I'm not doing anything till 11 hours from now. We're good.
Okay. Well, then we'll
sleep's
just...
optional, baby.
Cool. Then let's
no problem.
Actually, no, you know what? I do like the idea. Let's go through all of the classes main, and then we'll go through maybe subclasses. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, okay.
That way we can kind of get the broad strokes, and then be like, okay, let's go check it out. So we'll jump away from Barbarian. We'll go back to Fighter. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Now you know exactly what I was looking at. Okay. It's just like I want to see what
Here we go. Okay, here we go.
More importantly, I did the important math. We'll do the other stuff first. We'll get down to the
I did the
Excel
important
spreadsheet.
math.
Okay, I did it. I did it already. Don't worry. I got you, boys.
Okay. So Fighter. Let me go ahead and real quick with Fighter in the OG Player's Handbook.
I'll say what I was going to say, and it was just confirmation. Okay. Same amount of ability score improvements. You have the 6 ability score improvements.
6? For Fighter?
Yeah, 6. For Fighter, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wait, let me double check. Am I wrong? I am wrong. I did the important math. I did it wrong, but in the ways you love, baby, you have 7.
Oh.
You have goddamn 7 ability. You have the option to have 7 feats.
Wait, in Unearthed or in the OG?
Yep. Unearthed.
Oh, what is
OG 6. So now there's 7 here. Because it looks like there's a new one at level 19.
Wait, hold on. No. OG is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 in the OG.
Look, dude. Look.
Also,
you know how I said sleep's optional? I've been utilizing that rule.
Consistently.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I guess it just never happened. Oh, that's why they try to color code it and it fucks up my eyeball. That's fine. Anyways, you get 7 of them. It's still good.
That's still sick.
Good. I mean, great.
Whoa.
I don't know why. I thought it only had 6.
Whoa. Even looking at this table, you get more second wins. Cool.
I was gonna say that, and more action surges.
Wait, what?
Yep. Level 17.
All right, let's just go through this.
Let's go. Let's dig it. Let's dig in. We're looking at all the choice bits right now.
Yes. Choice me bits, my boy. Okay.
That was a concerning thing you just said.
Don't even worry about it, big dog. Fighting style. You've honed your martial prowess and gain a fighting style feat of your choice. Those feats have this feature as a prerequisite. Whenever you gain a fighter level, you can replace the feat you chose with a different fighter style feat. That is pretty much the same, I would assume, as like the archer, defense, dueling, great weapon. Yeah, so that's the same. Cool. Level 1. Second wind. Go ahead, Connor. You read. Yep. I'm getting tired of reading.
Yeah, you're totally fine. You have a limited well of mental and physical stamina. You can use drawn as a bonus action. You can use to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. You can use this feature twice. You regain 1 expended use when you finish a short rest, so that's good.
Okay.
And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long. So it doesn't say anything about using your hit die.
It never uses your
hit points.
It never uses.
Okay, that was my mistake then. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I think that again we did play this originally in a pretty loose way when we first started playing. But
yeah. You know what? When you saying that sparked a deep memory within me, and I'm pretty sure you're right. Where I was like, yeah, just use your hit die. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's right, because I never play fighter, or I never have played fighter, I should say. I normally play the spellcasters.
Yes.
But I will say, weapon mastery. I like this. They start with 3, they get up to 6, which for a fighter makes total sense.
Yeah.
Aside from that, the language is exactly the same as the barbarian. It's the same thing. It says long rest. You could retry to pick a new weapon, where we talked about like maybe that's something DM's discretion you do on like a level up or something.
Yo, what's up,
the
Todd?
Options there.
What's up, Todd? Also, Todd said you're weak for not playing fighter.
Look, Todd, I'm gonna fireball your ass. This man came
in and within 5 seconds roasted Connor. I respect that.
Look, Todd, shut the hell up, all right? Respectfully, shut the hell up. But action surge level 2.
Wait, hold on. OG. Hold on. OG 2014 Player's Handbook. This says you get second win once and forever once because it's bad. I did want to see though if it was different for 1d10, and it is not. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, continue.
It uses the same physical like number die as your hit die, I believe, or it's fighter D12. Fighter is
D10.
No, it's 10. Yeah, so you use the same die, but yeah. Action surge. Let's see if the language is any different. You push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment on your turn. You can make 1 additional action, except the magic action. It specifies you can't do that, so that actually does cut into a lot of multi-classing. That people
yes, nerf multi-classing.
Like fighter sorcerers are weeping.
Yeah, they're crying right now.
Yeah. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest. So can restart on short rests before you use it again. Starting at level 17, you can use it twice before a rest, but only once a turn. So level 17, which is late in the game, you can.
Logan is crying right now. He's punching the air. Logan, if you're in here right now, get wrecked. Also, nothing was funnier to me than Nathan when I was texting him. I was like, yo, what are you playing in Baldur's Gate, man? He was like, I'm playing Human Fighter. I was like, that's fucking crazy.
That is, they release stats. The most common class is, I believe, Fighter. The most common race is Human.
Okay, hold on. Real quick, I almost feel like that's the case, because I feel like a lot of people who haven't been able to play D&D or have been thinking about it and they heard the hype, I feel like jumped in, and so I feel like that's why a lot of people kind of like maybe something a little more familiar to them. And this is obviously could be completely false, but I feel like that might be a thing where people were using it as a jumping off point.
There's that. Then there's also like, you're in a fantasy world. Who do you want to play? It's like, I want to play me.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
Yeah. So I want to play a human, and I think I could use a sword. Okay. Like I don't know, but like if I was in a pinch,
yeah.
Like for one, I could land a plane, and for two, I'd be pretty okay with a sword. Like,
yeah. Also, Corey, did you get Baldur's Gate 3? Because if you did, that's lit.
I know. I was trying to talk him into it.
Yeah, that's dope.
I will say,
he started the life cleric though. To no surprise. Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. I will say, on level 2 with action surge, there's something called tactical mind.
You have a
mind for tactics. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah. You have a mind for tactics, getting the upper hand on and off the battlefield. When you fail an ability check, you can spend a use of your second wind to push yourself to success. Wait. Rather than getting hit points, you roll the 1d10 and add the number rolled. So you add a 1d10.
What?
Here the number rolled on the ability check. Doesn't specify a type of ability check. This could be you trying to rizz up the tavern. It could be you trying to pick a lock because the rogue's drunk. It could be you doing whatever. You can use your second wind on a roll. Starting at level 2. Add the number to the roll. If the check still fails, you use the second. The use of second wind
is not expended.
That is
Sir Denrick is getting drunk in the tavern right now hearing this, bro. Sir Denrick is using those little pop streamer things right now. That's so cool. That
is so early too. Never mind. Multi-classing fighter's really good. Just for that.
Well, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I mean, if you take that, and it's like assuming multi-class might work different in this one, but if you wanted to take a 2-level dip to get that getting the second one is already good. Getting the ability to use second wind at a next level, because level 2 you get action surge and the ability to use second wind like this.
Oh, this man, dude, Todd's message got timed out. I knew he was all capsing. Hey, by the way, I need to adjust.
Let's go.
He's
just blowing it up.
I need to adjust stream elements, bro. So you're gonna have to be excited quietly, or else stream elements will ban you. Not ban you.
Lower cases, calm down, calm down.
There you go. Oh, he said boo, not bro.
Boo. All right, well, that's fine.
I will adjust it. I'm sorry. Next time we do this, next everyone can scream a little bit more than now. I really like that.
Be better.
Dude. I really like that also because I feel like there's a lot of resources in D&D 2014 edition, Player's Handbook.
Oh, good, yeah.
That
what number would that be? Perhaps 5th?
No, the 2014.
5th edition? Oh, okay, yeah.
2014 edition. No, I think that there's a lot of martial classes, and the same going back to the barbarian. A lot of martial classes, their abilities were just like purely combat. But with the barbarian raging and being able to use strength for different abilities, this being able to use a resource for ability checks, I'm loving the fact that they're emphasizing some of the resources and you be able to allocate them differently to be able to kind of RP and traverse the world, because spellcasters have a bajillion spells they can use to interact with the world, and literally a lot of martial classes in the older edition, it was just like, hey, you can fight good with a sword.
Yeah, you can make your backstory about being good at, I'm a fighter, but I'm also, this, that, and the other. It's like, well, sure, but what the stats kind of say here, I almost feel like if you wanted the character to be decent at stuff, decent at different social interactions, or, dungeoneering, things that aren't swinging swords, you could get that out of a fighter, but you'd have to find a subclass to do it. This is we're reading the fighter
base,
and we're gushing over it at level 2, and there's no subclasses involved. This is just what a fighter gets. We'll figure out what else it has afterwards. But
hell yeah,
level 3 is obviously fighter subclass.
Yeah, subclass, and then we have ability score improvement. Which
actually, let me read it real quick. The subclass options are Battlemaster, Brawler, Champion, or Eldritch Knight.
I think
Brawler. I'm interested.
Brawler's new. I don't think that one was an OG. Cool. All right, let's jump in. Extra attack. Oh wow, look at that. No one saw it coming. Tactical shift. Whenever you activate your second wind with the bonus action, you can move up to half your speed without provoking opportunity attacks. That's so cool. I like that a lot because there's nothing worse than a fighter being like, I use second wind and I heal 8 hit points, and then you immediately cleave for 40, and you're like, why did I do that? This one allows you to kind of see you.
Yeah, at level 5 too.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's a really good ability that gives you a lot of mobility, and then it's also your level 5 a lot. You got your extra attack. I feel like a lot of people their characters and everything starts coming online. Like this is, I'm assuming in this edition too, like when spellcasters get level 3 abilities, you know, like you start to have a bunch of things that makes you like, you should care about your character a lot at this point. Oh God,
someone's got shot.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're like invested at this point, yeah, and you're getting kind of up there for sure.
Yeah, you're able to use this. No, not provoking an opportunity attack's really good because like Barbarian's rage thing, same thing, uses his bonus action to do an ability. He gets to move half his speed, but he's taking those hits if that's what's happening. You know, no, for Barbarian it's normally starting at the beginning of combat, whereas here it's probably in the middle of a pitched battle. So the fighter's going to get more out of that anyway. Yeah. I think that's just good. It just gives you more options to run around the field, do whatever you got to do. You might have just got your clock cleaned, you're healing yourself, and maybe healing's only half of like it's a nice thing that you get to do, but really you're using it to as a bonus action disengage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Real quick, let me do something really important. I had the pet Nox.
Oh, okay.
There we go. So what was I going to say? Oh, what I'm really enjoying about this just too is I'm seeing a lot of similarities. Kind of, they're leaning a little bit more into the into space. God damn it, Star Wars 5e, where like you do get a bunch of abilities. They're shifting to give me similar vibes to that, where it's like you know just base kit your characters. They're getting more things to do, which in everything we've seen thus far is their balance. It's just like you move or you do a couple things, but it's nothing to the point of like detrimental to like overall combat balancing or like breaking the game. It's just little things that make it so you can move more, you can do more, and it just makes it so you feel like you have more agency.
Yeah, and also again, it's the this is a cool thing that is just the fighter. Subclasses are where you get like the more shiny, like I feel like that's the way it should be. It's like where things can get more specific, you know. Whereas this is just like, oh, this is going to be useful. Probably about every combat. It's gonna be handy.
Yep. I like that. Indomitable. Level 9.
Yeah. Well, I do want to point out level 6 and 8 happen between these two, and those are your ability score improvements. So you have 2 of them between this and then 9.
Good, yeah, good. Oh, wait. You get 2 in that little? Wow.
Yeah, 2 in that. So you get level 6, level 8, then you have this.
And you get a subclass feature too. Wow, shit. I like that. Okay, Indomitable. If you fail a saving throw, you can reroll it with a bonus equal to your fire level. If you do so, you must use the new rule, and you can't use this feature again until you finish long rest. You can use this feature twice between long rest, starting at 13 level, and 3 times between long rest, starting at 17. Actually, and it's funny, we haven't really been comparing to the OG, because I feel like we just know it so much better. Let's see what Indomitable was before. So beginning at 9th level, you can reroll a saving throw that you fail. If you do so, you must use the new rule, and you can't use this feature again. So this one, it is a saving throw, but you do get a bonus equal to your fighter level, and that level 9 gives you a 9. So that's actually really cool because there's nothing worse than being like, yo, I'm gonna reroll this saving throw. I got a natural 1, shit, and then it's an L. You know, it's like this. Oh. Go ahead.
No, I'm just noticing. We've had Flesh Crevice and now Turtles in a Furnace in the chat. So I like the community that we're building here together. I love the names that we have here. Well, everybody's shining.
Don't forget Sloppy Ho.
That's me.
Yeah, I know. That's a little. Yeah, I know. You're in it. Yep. More pets for Nox. Love to see it. Okay.
Love to see it.
Level 9, Master of Armaments. You get this as well. Go ahead, Connor.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're a master of weapons. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose any of the kinds of mastery weapons you're using and replace the mastery property with each of the other with another mastery property. The chosen kind for the weapon must qualify for the new property. So when we were going through mastery earlier, and I had like two-handed finesse, whatever.
Oh shit!
So if you really wanted to, use if you wanted the trample ability or topple ability, and it fit. For the weapon you had, but the weapon had like sap.
Connor,
I want to knock a bitch down.
Read the next couple sentences.
Look, let me be happy about what I'm reading. Don't ruin it for me.
Oh well, it gives an example.
Oh yeah, for example, you longsword sap. Whatever. I said topple. They said push. They're not imaginative.
Yeah, you're better.
But I probably stated something that could not happen because prerequisites. These properties apply for only apply it only for you, not for others, and the changes end when you finish your next long rest.
Cool.
So I think they're flavoring it like you have a weapon that could do this, and then you're just utilizing. You're not changing the weapon. You're just changing the way you're training it and maybe using the weapon.
Yeah, you're changing the mastery you can use. Oh, that's so cool, bro. Dude, I love that.
And it's long rest. It's not like like as you're training at night, you're just like, I want to really shove a guy over there. I want to be good at shoving.
See,
get better at shoving.
That makes more sense to me than, oh, hey, just change your mastery of a weapon to another weapon. This makes more sense to me where it's like you're using a weapon differently, whereas what it's saying with the weapon mastery changes, like you shifting them around, it's like, in my mind, that kind of defeats the purpose of giving the fighter more masteries. If you're a barbarian and have 2 masteries, and you can change out 1 every long rest, but you're a fighter with 3 masteries, and you can also change 1 out every long rest or 2 or whatever, then you can essentially do the same thing, but you have more, I guess, in your daily arsenal. But it's just if you can access all of them just in between days, it just seems less valuable than choosing them and then sticking to a build. Especially since fighter, you can have 3, so it makes you more versatile overall. Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is if how it's trying to interpret itself is you would theoretically have mastery for any of the weapons you're proficient. For at least these 2 classes, which are very martial. And it's just a matter of during the long rest, you just refamiliarize yourself. You've used all these weapons, but now that you picked up, you just got a new halberd and you just spend the day kind of, practicing.
Okay.
In the middle of combat, you grab a halberd, you don't have its mastery.
Okay.
But you can spend the day,
So I could see that. However, in the same token, it says whenever you finish a long rest, you can practice weapon drills and change one of those weapon choices. But then it also specifies in long rests, you're usually doing downtime activities. Not saying drilling is not a downtime activity, but I feel like that's also contradictory in the sense of usually a long rest, you're chilling. Not saying drilling can't be chill, but it's it'd be motherfuckers punching a punching bag at the gym. It's you're working out. Swinging your halberd is pretty, extensive.
Well, yeah. I mean, all really depends. And again, that's very much a DM choice. It's I'm just trying to say I'm more just trying to put it I see where they got the idea.
Right.
Instead of it being I now have mastery with this unfamiliar weapon.
Right.
I have proficiency with a weapon. I know how to use it. I'm just kind of refamiliarizing myself.
No, and I like that, and I do like that. So I'm curious. Would you leave it as a DM? Would you leave it so you could switch the masteries?
I think, especially since it's new, I definitely would.
Okay.
Because I want to play with this system as it says on paper. Completely, I would try it
like that. Playtest it.
Yeah, and also, well, pretty much for me, if anything on the paper, if I feel like it's immersion breaking, I want to make, or it takes out of the story a little bit, I just want to find a way to make it work. Because I try to trust the people who wrote it on paper until I feel like I'm competent enough to change it.
Gotcha.
Because I know D&D 5e, this is very close, but it's a new system, so I'd play with it, and then, and also for this, changing the mastery, it feels like such a small thing to I have a new weapon that I'm proficient with, and from a player standpoint, I got a new weapon, I'm proficient with this weapon, I want to use this weapon now, and the mastery is a huge part of it. So it's you got it, in town, take the long rest, and your player utilizes it to do a little bit of training with it. That way, the player who has the weapon, they get to use its new fun ability.
Yeah, okay, I can see that, and I like that, and I do think, and I think even at baseline, if I were to get rid of the swapping it, like you were saying, levels too. I think levels you can reset all of them. You have 2, 3, 4. You can just reset all of them if you want. That way, it's almost more of a milestone thing that you can do. But it's kind of just show, because I feel like levels kind of show a shift in your character. So resetting masteries can also emphasize that shift if you're completely different on a style.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, level 11, 2 extra attacks. Your extra attack feature now confers 2 extra attacks rather than 1. I really like, as simple as that is, I love that they're articulating that. Your extra attack feature now confers 2 extra attacks rather than 1. Because, hold on, actually, sorry. Let me go to the extra attack real quick. Yeah, whenever you take the attack action on your turn, you make 2. So I like the wording that they're using. Just going back to their wording, it's just I'm glad that they that they took a section and put it in here and just articulated it instead of just like in the table saying extra attack 3 or whatever.
Yeah, I like that they're not trying to explain it or give examples. They're trusting your ability to read and be competent with the knowledge. Like it's like, and what we mean is, and like by example, like for certain things, like we just did with the Master of Armaments, I gave an example because it's kind of introducing a system, introducing a change to the system, that type of thing. This is like instead of getting a new attack, you get 2 new attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I get it. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
It's great. It's a great thing, but it doesn't need to give you an example.
Exactly.
It doesn't need to like lay out a lot more text.
Yes. Cool.
Got it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Come on. These bare bones. Level 13, studied attacks. You masterfully study your opponents and learn from each attack you make. If you make an attack roll against a creature and miss, you have advantage on your next attack roll against that creature before the end of your next turn. Okay.
So that takes away, I believe it was the Vex ability that Mastery has. So if a fighter had a weapon like that, and they built up like that, that can even be, that's a fun thing. Maybe they had a weapon like that, then like they get this new ability at level 13, and now like that you can just make it like that player's just that's such a thing they're studied with. They can use the other ability they got, Master of Armaments, to keep that same weapon and change what it's doing. Change that mastery to do something else because they're already doing it.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got you.
But also, like actually, mistake. The mastery was if you hit them, do damage, you get advantage.
Yes.
So if you wanted to be specific, you could just create a situation where it's like, I'm going to have advantage no matter what. I roll high, I roll low. I'm rolling twice next time.
Right. No, I agree. But even then, it's still like I followed your train of thought though, and I still think it's applicable.
No, I think it's a cool thing for the fighter to get, especially. Like, I like that the barbarian, like the text of everything it gets, it's leaning so hard into the fact, like, yeah, this dude is not okay. He's pissed, and then, like he's good at what he does, but he's pretty much just a pissed off, like walking ball of meat and blades. And the fighter's like, I mean, not that he's not mad, but it's like a more tactical mind. It's like, oh, he's been studying, and then something like that reflecting in combat is like he's not just swinging wildly like a barbarian can very successfully do. It's a studying thing, It's like being familiar with the enemy, being familiar with the opponent. Yeah,
I 100% agree. As like a fighter should, a fighter is more of like is more of an elegant swordsman than just a rageful maniac. Which I also like to say,
we love rageful maniac.
We love them. Shout out. I will say though too, like literally in the OG 2014 edition of the Player's Handbook, it literally stops. It literally stops at level 9 for Indomitable. Like there's no more explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was mentioning, I like that they say 2 extra attacks, 3 extra attacks. Level 20, you have your extra attack feature now confers 3 extra attacks rather than 2.
Right.
I like that they're at least articulating that instead of a lot of inference and a lot of just like, wait, interpreting other things. I like that it's written out. And also, I'm so far so good. I'm loving all these extra things they're sprinkling in when it comes to just hitting different thresholds of level. I love that.
Oh, me too. I think
Okay, hold on. Real quick though, this is one thing I was not expecting, and I think I will continue to homebrew this. I am kind of upset that they didn't add maneuvers built into base class. That is something I am a little bit sad about. I thought that Master of Armaments is really cool. I think that can kind of like that in a way. Studied attacks really good, but I was really hoping they maybe they would just be a level like, I don't know, 3 or something. They were like, hey, you just have 2 maneuvers. That's it. Like that's all. I think that would be enough.
I think. Go ahead.
Well,
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. That was about what I was saying. I just think I think that going forward, unless they add it or whatever, I think I'm going to continue to homebrew that. No matter what fighter you are, subclass or not, you do get a maneuver or 2, and you do have those, because I think to have to, like we were saying, like the fighter is an elegant swordsman who's been practicing and is really good with what he does, and I think that like they are picking up some slack with Master of Armaments, and these weapon masteries are kind of doing some of that, but I think that they should still inherently have some cool flavor to them.
I think, and I will go against the grain.
Of course you will.
I don't play Fighter, but no, I think what they're doing is competent, depending on how Mastery is outlined, like how often you get to use it and such. Because it's like, I want it to be more complex and more restricted than it appears. Because right now, a lot of them seems like any attack is a thing you get.
Right.
You know, which seems like a lot, but maybe that's their intention. But the fighter being able to change the mastery, having mastery with multiple weapons, having all these things kind of added on, I think it's a pretty good supplement that makes fighter better, but also like it carries over to barbarian, it carries over likely to ranger, rogue to some degree, warlocks that are going to be stabbing and jabbing, bards that will be doing the same thing because they said the wrong thing in the wrong bar. But you know, like just we have the proficiency and that's good. You get the mastery, which is a higher requirement, but like I think they do it in such a way that it's very like spread across the board. All these martials get it. Fighters are better at it, not that they get better numbers, they have more access to it and they can play with it more.
Yeah.
So I think like maneuvers are good, yes. But I think like, okay, like with this system, you know, like, okay, well, they don't have maneuvers, but they have these things with their weapons that do the same thing. Other classes have it too, you know, but I think that's just a huge help to martials across the board.
But this is the one thing I will counterpoint, or like, you know what you're saying is that I agree, but also Rogue, like I was mentioning, also spoiler for Rogue, they made it so that you can break up what your sneak attack damage does, and you can do like basically fighter maneuvers. And so the fact that they added rogues and they built into the rogue base kit maneuvers, but not fighter, is where I'm kind of like, well, what the fuck, you know? I feel like if they did that for rogue, where they're now more versatile in combat and fighting, and they didn't do it for fighter, that's where I'm like, that's kind of weird. So
the one thing I'll say to that is I feel like in the same way Barbarian, their subclass was really good at like making the base Barbarian really good. You know, I haven't seen the Rogue thing yet, but like the base Barbarian, like he's pretty damn tanky. He has a unique ability that lets him do a ton of damage on crits. This fighter one is more bare bones, but it's also like I think almost everything he has is ability score improvements or extra attacks or other things that are really good, like the ability to use second wind a lot. But like I think like the fighter is more like built to like deal damage. Like that's a lot of the things I'm seeing. There's like it's different things that let him swing a lot, swing well a lot. Ability score improvements, picking up more feats.
That's
but
true.
Also,
the feats,
like,
he does have more feats. Like, yeah, that's true. And in general too, I mean, they're also more well versed because if you don't take feats, you can still take ability scores, and you can ramp your stats up really well.
Absolutely.
I imagine they did it because they want that fighter subclass to have the unique features instead of being slightly better at a feature than all other martials have. To have unique features instead of being slightly better. That's a feature. Yeah, I can see that. I understand. I understand kind of what you guys are saying, but for me, I'm gonna still add it. Homebrew. Let's go, baby. But yeah, I agree.
I will be curious. I'll have to double check, and maybe I'll check on it, and we can talk about it when we start the next series of going over these. I want to see what the rogue looks like, because based off what you're saying, it sounds really cool, and I like the idea because rogue does a ton of damage on one attack, no matter what level he's at.
Right.
So having like the ability to do less damage and do other things with it, I think is a pretty good idea, but I haven't seen like the language of it.
Yeah. What the hell? Oh, Eldritch Knight. I'm like, what the hell? Sorcerer.
Oh, you want to keep going?
Well, I was gonna see if the next class was gonna be something that I was like super invested in, then I was gonna be like, let's keep. Okay, hold on, chat. What do you think? Keep going. You guys want to do one more? One more before we call it?
One more song.
Let's see. Chat, what's up? Hey, sound off. Rally the troops. We doing one more?
Rally the troops. But there you go. There's a good start right there for Sorcerer. So I'm just reading ahead.
Yeah, this one
more never hurts.
Let's see. Hold on.
The best healer says.
Okay, hold on. If we do, one more. Should we do Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard?
That's a good point.
I know, Nathan, you said Warlock you wanted to read about. I know they actually overhauled Warlock a lot. Cleric, yeah, okay, nice try, buddy. Hey,
I want to see where... I'm looking up Cleric right now to see if it's available.
Cleric is, I think, in 6, which we will be doing at some point as well.
Oh, you want to just leave for the next one?
Yeah. Whatever's in... Well, I want to do this one.
Cleric from Todd too.
Damn. Okay. Well, I mean, Warlock's kind of a cleric, right? In a weird way.
No, but I like your roundabout logic, and I will follow it because I also want to know about what Warlocks are doing.
All right.
I did briefly look at Sorcerer. Sorcerer did not look that different just looking at its spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Holy fuck.
Okay, we're gonna go to Warlock because I know
I'm on it right now.
I know Warlock went to the fucking meat grinder and they basically just redid it as a class. So get your fucking buckle up your booty straps, boys, because we're gonna get weird.
Let me hit you with the let me give you the hits I'm seeing looking at the
wait,
the
hold on,
level spreadsheet.
Oh, never mind. They reverted it.
Let me tell you what I'm seeing here looking at the Warlock spreadsheet. Initially, I'm seeing 10 invocations by level 20, obviously level 20. But hey, you get as many as 4 spell slots starting at level 17. So
yeah, what the hell, boy? Hold on. Let me go to Warlock. Yeah. Let me go to Warlock because I feel like this will be one to really compare to the OG.
Oh yeah, by all means, go ahead. I will primary ability Prisma. Obviously, they have notes here, which are always fun to read. That tell me what changed between version 7, what this is, and whatever version Warlocks were mentioned before. So it means nothing to me.
Yeah, no, it means Well, so this is the thing, and this is why I was like, get ready for Funky Town. Is they actually made Warlock a full caster at one point. They said, we're gonna actually revert him and just go full caster. Like you're gonna ramp like anything else. Or I think it was a half caster, like because Warlock isn't even a half caster; it's like a weird caster. And so they actually, I think they either made him a half caster or a full caster, and everyone was like kind of dumb, and they were like, and so I think they switched it back. But let's get into this. Let's get into this.
Well, I like that they have so many evocations. Just off the rip, just reading that.
Let's jump into this shit. All right, Warlock class feature. Level 1, Eldritch Invocations. In your study of occult lore, you've unearthed Eldritch Invocations, fragments of forbidden knowledge that imbue you with an abiding magical ability or other lessons. You gain 1 invocation of your choice, such as Pact of the Blade or Pact of the Tome. Invocations are described in the Eldritch Invocations options section later in this class description. If an invocation has a prerequisite, you must meet it. Yep, I understand that. When you gain certain warlocks, you gain more invocations. So you get things. You gain 1 invocation of your choice. Invocations are described later. Okay, where's later? Can I look at those? Right here?
Just yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Eldritch Invocation options. Holy damn.
So an invocation is prerequisite. It just says when it says you have to be this level to get it, you have to wait till you're that level to get it. When you gain certain warlock levels, you gain more invocations of your choice. As shown. Okay, it's explaining invocations.
Okay,
that does not seem changed at all.
I was gonna say, this. Let's see. Going to OG, you literally said, Eldritch Invocations at. Oh wait, hold on. At 2nd level, you gain 2 Eldritch. So this time it's at 1st level. Yep. At first level, you get Pact Magic. So now, they're not. They cut out a whole section of weird articulation instead of Pact Magic. Well, actually, is Pact Magic somewhere else? Okay, no. So it's worded in reverse. So Eldritch Invocations, same thing. Pact Magic, it'll explain all the things. You get your cantrips, you get your prepared spells, changing your prepared spells. Okay. So real quick.
Yep.
Real quick, what did he say? I'm fine with how they currently work. They seem like the invocations will make up the 4 out of 5 of the spell slots you're missing, or the 4
4/5.
4/5. Yeah, because real quick. So if you look at this real quick, so you get spells known, which spells known is no longer even a list. I think you just have prepared spells, which is kind of cool. You have a full list. You know, you don't have to get limited that way. Spells prepared is 2. Spell slot, I think ramps pretty similarly, right?
Yeah, spell slots they ramp pretty similar. It looks like.
Yeah, because
if you just go to
you cap at 5th. You spell slots, you cap at 4th. Spells.
No, you're good. Yeah, I think go
ahead. Cantrips, I think a lot of this ramps the same. Invocations though is what is different. Because you get 1 to 3 immediately, and then so invocations is where I think you ramp faster.
I will say this, and we'll start seeing this at level 11. There's something that's saying Mystic Arcanum level 6 spell and that's a thing that looks like it scales as you keep going. Level 17, it says Mystic Arcana level 9 spell. So whatever that is unrelated, it seems like, to everything else on this chart. So I'm curious to see what that's going to look like.
Okay. I am also curious to prepared spells of level 1. So you know 2 cantrips of your choice. When you reach 4th and 10th in this class, you'll learn more. Prepared spell. You prepare the list of spells at level 1 and higher that are available for you to cast with this feature. To start, choose 2 level 1 spells from the Warlock spell list. Okay, cool. So there's a list that you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Changing whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can replace one spell on your list with another Warlock spell of an eligible level. Okay, so there's no long rest, but that kind of makes sense for Warlock because of the way that they are. Level 2, Magical Cunning. If all your packed magic spell slots are expended, you can perform an esoteric rite for 1 minute, at the end of which you regain half of those spell slots, round up. Once you've used this feature, you can't do so until you finish a long rest. That is awesome.
That is not a short rest either.
No, it's 1 minute. And you just...
Nope, that something you do before the barbarian, while he's raging, sneaks through the front door.
I like that. Cool. I think that's what the pushback was for a lot of people with this class, is they were like, yo, people didn't have an issue with Warlock. People knew what they were getting into with Warlock because of invocations. It's a very unique, cool caster, and so I'm liking that they reverted it, and they're making it almost a little bit more viable when it comes to, like, you know, you don't have your max spells, but you can get them back quicker, and you can do certain things, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Warlock subclass is 3, ability score is 4. You have Contact Patron. In the 9th level. In the past, you usually contacted your patron through intermediaries. Now you can communicate directly. You always have to contact other plane spell prepared. With this feature, you can cast a spell without expending a spell slot to contact your patron, and you automatically succeed on the spell saving throw. Wow. So you're just like, yo, what's up? I got my homie on speed dial.
Yeah. It doesn't say they like it. It just says you can do it.
It's interesting though, because I like that, but also don't like that, in the sense of, like, it almost, like, in the rules limits what you're doing. Because I would say a lot of times, like, Warlocks, they'll interact with their patron like first level, you know. So it's interesting that this is putting verbiage to, like, you didn't do that normally, now you can. So it almost feels a little bit like a useless ability, only because I feel like, depending on role playing stuff, you would already be able to do that.
I like it. I like it that it's something stated in the rules, and I do kind of like, depending on the patron, because I am a fan of the Great Old One patron, which is not someone you talk to often at all. You really don't want to. And just this at level 9, getting an ability that Contact Patron's a huge, probably the biggest one here, because just the other 2 classes are martial by their nature, very fundamental. Contact Patron's hugely DM dependent.
Yeah,
like it's really dependent to your story, your character, you talking with the DM. Because Contact Patron means at level 9, whatever weird things you were having to do, maybe your DM was making it kind of difficult for you to talk to your patron for story reasons. At level 9, you have the ability, and again, the patron might have given it to you. The patron might be annoyed you have this ability. You could ring him up. You know, you can call him up, say, hey, what's going on, man?
That's a good point, though. I feel like this is kind of a cool way that you can, like, the DM could almost then now, like, use this for story. Like, on the other hand, the DM could use this for storytelling aspects. You know, like, maybe instead of giving so much, you know, transparency between Warlocks and their patrons, maybe now they can use this and almost be a little bit more, make this a little bit more of a different storytelling beat. So yeah, I agree. No, I think it's pretty cool. You know, the things you can do with it.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, hit me with level 11.
I'm so excited. This is the level 11 Mystic Arcanum that I was talking about. Let's see what it actually says. But your patron bestows on you a magical secret called Arcanum. Choose one level 6 spell from the Warlock spell list on this Arcanum. You can cast your Arcanum spell once without expending a spell slot. You must finish a long rest before you can do so again. So not a short rest thing like they normally get. As shown on the Warlock table, you gain another Warlock spell of your choice that can be cast this way when you reach levels 13. On 13, you get a level 7. 15, you get a level 8. And 17, you get a level 9 spell. You regain all your uses of Mystic Arcanum when you finish a long rest. Whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can replace one of your Arcanum spells with another Warlock spell at the same level. So hold the fuck on.
I love that.
When I was first reading it on the table, I thought you would have whatever your spell thing there goes from oh, it starts at 6, then it grows to 9, like spell slots normally do. It seems like you get a 5, a 6, or so you get a 6, a 7, an 8, and a 9. You have 3 or 4 spells at 4 different levels by the time you get to level 17 that are once a day you get a cast.
Yeah, I actually
on a
really
specific
like
list.
So I'm curious though. Shown on the Warlock table, you gain another. Okay, so you gain another one.
Additional, yeah.
So it's not like, oh, now you can choose two 7th. You just gain now. So you basically get 1 6th level, 1 7, 1 8, 1 9. I don't think you can double up. Like you can't be like, I'm getting rid of a 6 to have 2 8. I don't think.
No, it seems like, yeah, you have a level 6 spell. You chose a level 6 spell. You can change it on level ups.
Yeah.
But that is your level 6 spell. Then you have your level 7, your level 8, your level 9.
Yes.
But it's also a specific Warlock list. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I like that. What do you think? What do you think, Nathan? What do you think so far, bro? What are you thinking? I know you're invested in this. I like that. I think they're doing a really good job of keeping the Warlock that unique caster, but then also adding more agency for their spells and just kind of giving it cool storytelling aspects as to like how they get those. Like it always says, your patron bestows on you a magical secret. So like that can be a really cool role-playing opportunity for them to be like, yo, if you want to cast a meteor swarm, here's the magic word. It's like, oh, sick, thanks, dude.
Yeah, like that's a hugely DM dependent thing. It says it gives it a magical secret. It gives you a name for it.
Was
Arcana, but is it?
Wait, was this a thing before? Nathan just said it works the same as before. Am I just stupid? Oh, it was a thing before. What the fuck? It says just goes to show I don't fucking play Warlock ever.
What's it say for the 5e then?
Yeah, it says choose 1 6th level from the Warlock spell list as is Arcana. You cast your Arcana spell once without expending. Yeah.
But did it stack the same way? Because this
at higher levels,
again, we normally play low levels. So we never get to
more Warlock spells of your choice that can be cast 1 7th level. Yeah, it literally is the same.
Same thing. That's cool. I'm gushing over it, but we also don't know what Warlocks do, so that's cool. I like that it's, I guess, still included.
Yeah.
We're talking about Warlocks just in general right now too, so that's fine.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean,
I still like it.
I do too, and I think it's one of those things where I think that what they've really overhauled in this is the invocations. Which, real quick, let's just hit it. Level 20, Eldritch Master. God. Eldritch Master, okay. When you use your Magical Cunning feature, you regain all expended packs magic spell slots. So literally, when you do Magic Cunning, you just gain all your spells back and you can just start ripping it. That's pretty strong. I like that. Also, real quick too, I am enjoying, and I will say this, I am enjoying that, at least from these 3 classes we chose so far, a lot of the level 20 abilities are pretty, I don't want to use the word mundane, but they are pretty drawn back, which I feel like in some way does make higher level tier of play seem more desirable as a DM, because when you have a level 20 ability for a class that says kill God with your 10th level spell that didn't exist, it's like, that's dumb, we're not going to go to level 20. But I feel like with a lot of these ones, it just seems like they cap out in a cool way, but it's nothing to the point of like insanely broken to where it's like, if I play level 20 game or my characters get that high, I just can't do anything.
Right. No, I think it's good. I like that the capstones thus far, the ones we've seen, are very much just like, you get better at the thing you're good at. You get better at it. That's your capstone thing. It's nothing dramatic. It's not anything crazy thus far. We have Sorcerer and Wizard to go on this list, which would be the 2 to break the bank. Seems like they're, again, just their general design philosophy thus far seems like they're making a strong central class. Class features are good at what they do specifically, and then subclasses you can play with. We haven't looked at the subclasses yet, but I am going to be curious to get into those, and especially the evocations. I will say I did look and see one thing which I already really like is Agonizing Blast. Now lets you choose which Warlock cantrip benefits from the invocation. Which Agonizing Blast is the one where you get to add your Charisma modifier to the damage. So it's not just Eldritch Blast. It should be, but it doesn't have to be. It could be Firebolt if you want.
Right. Yep.
If it's on the Warlock list.
Let's go ahead and just quickly run through some of these and just see what we're getting, and see where they kind of pick up some slack here with the Warlock, or like, emphasizes their abilities. So also, I think that I'm still hyped to play my Jin Warlock idea sometime. Yes, your Jin Warlock was super cool, and I actually remembered that the other day. We've discussed that, and actually, yes, we will make that happen in one of our arcs. Okay, Agonizing Blast. Pre-requisite at least 1 Warlock cantrip. Choose one of your known Warlock cantrips that deal damage. You can add your spellcasting ability modifier to that spell's damage roll. Whenever you gain a Warlock level, you can change which of your damaging Warlock cantrips benefit from this invocation. I like that. Honestly, just modifier damage is insanely good.
It is really good.
Modifier damage.
One moment here. I'll be right back. I need to do something real quick, but okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, modifier damage is super good when it comes to when it just comes to like being able to chunk out damage, especially for a fighter. If you have like really high strength or dex and you're making 2 or 3 attacks, you can really start to add in that damage and really tally it up, and really start to wallop on those monsters. Armor of Shadows, prerequisite 9. You can cast Mage Armor on yourself without expending a spell slot. That's so cool. Is there a way that I can see where the invocations are? And the Great Old One. Real quick, did they? Oh, here we go. And you cast Eldritch. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so when you cast Eldritch Blast, add your Charisma modifier to the damage deal. Okay, so it's any. It's any. Okay, I like that. They changed that. For some reason, Baldur's Gate 3 Magic Missile adds your spell mod to each missile. Yeah, instead of it just being 1, +1 or whatever, or +2. Yeah, that is weird. That's how you just. That's crazy. That's probably just one of those damage output things. I feel like Magic Missile maybe in like a video game isn't as good as it is in like D&D in some contexts. Also, real quick, so Agonizing Blast, super cool. I'm comparing it now, all the invocations. Agonizing Blast is pretty sick because you can now do it on any cantrip instead of just Eldritch Blast, which I think
that's what I was.
Yeah, you already mentioned that.
I like it because Eldritch Blast is still a good spell. Mm-hmm. But there is no reason to limit Agonizing Blast to it. There is no reason. If somebody wants to add it to whatever the spell, like say like Chill Touch or something like that, that's a weird thing. That's cool. That's it depends what they have on the specific list. But
holy
there's
shit,
no reason it has to just be.
They have so many evocations.
Dude, I was gonna say like we can go through the evocations now, but it's good. There's a shit ton of invocations. Invocations are the Warlock's main thing. You have a menu of options.
Okay, I think
an absolute menu.
I think we should. We'll postpone. I think we'll go. Okay. Let's start next time with hitting invocations, and then we'll jump over and see if we can't just shoot through Sorcerer and Wizard. And I'm actually thinking what we should probably do is maybe jump over to 6. I think we go through all of them, all like primary classes. So we'll go evocations.
Yeah,
we'll go evocations. We'll do Sorcerer. We'll do Wizard, and we'll jump to 6. We'll do all the ones we didn't hit, and then if we want to, we go back through maybe like anything that we particularly want to look at when it comes to subclasses. Because I think if we went through every single subclass for every single, we'd be doing 74 hour long streams, and we'd like do 10 of them. So,
we can just go through, see if there's like we can look at these on our own time when we get to that point.
Yeah,
pick a couple subclasses. Sound cool.
Yeah, so we'll
especially like I know I'm gonna look at the Brawler for the Fighter because I just want to see what the fuck's that's going on.
Yeah, new ones like Barbarian.
Barbarian
with a Wild Heart. Yeah, anything that's new to the game, I want to look at as well. Oh yeah, dude,
they got some shit going on.
Dude, that was awesome. Like I'm so excited. Like yes, they're doing a lot to classes, but I'm so excited for the weapons in general. Weapons having a lot more individualized relevancy to people's playstyles is awesome.
I'm going to. I cannot help now, just because we read it. Picking a Barbarian, getting a fucking halberd, and just cleaving my way through everything.
Yes, that's
why not.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to also just like adding little things like that to monsters too, because that's another thing too. I guess
goes both ways.
Yeah, they'll have to redo their monster manual. They're gonna have to add a lot of shit.
I think its projected release date's next year, if I'm not mistaken.
For the handbook, yes, it's I think 2024 they're releasing it. So honestly, I think that playtest 7 they might have maybe 1 or 2 more, but I think we're looking towards the end of a lot of the revisions and stuff, which is honestly a good time to check it out because I mean, if we would have done this at the very beginning, we would have been looking through a lot of the same shit and just seeing minor tweaks. Whereas now we're looking at the refined, almost finalized edition of how it is just like, and it's been balanced and there's been a lot of things.
Yeah, I've been liking it. One, D&D has gotten a lot of shit and I kind of paid attention to it when it was initially happening, but it fully fell off my radar.
Yeah.
Like I think only because you've been mentioning it so often. I mean, we looked at it for obviously just now today, but Yeah, they got some neat stuff going on. I understand now why you've been as excited as you have been for some of the things that got going on. Seems pretty cool.
Yes. Yep, and there's not finally a reason to use a dagger. I agree. Other than a rogue.
There is a great reason to use a dagger.
Actually, to even heavily emphasize that, there's even a greater reason to use the light club, which is what I'm going to do now.
You can do whatever you want. Like, it's not a bad idea, but it's also like...
I'm using the light club, 1d4. I'm going to bonk
I will
everybody.
say, again, the lance. Having the lance, having it where you can knock someone on their ass, using it one-handed on a horse is great. The ability that the lance does not have any drawbacks aside from the fact you're using it with two hands while on the ground is also good.
Which, ironically enough, that you say that, there was actually, I want to say playtest 5, I think is what it was, because I was watching a little bit earlier of this, and people were like, it was actually the level 3 that I was watching him do it.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, he was like reading the lance, and he was reading the lance, and like, he was like, I don't understand it, like, and everyone was like, oh, in the uproar, they're like, yo, no, the lance, no. He was like, I didn't know people use the lance so much because people were mad because it didn't specify that. It was like two-handed, and I think it was even mounted, it was two-handed, and they made it really weird. Yeah. So it's nice that they drew it back, and they made it more of like a mounted cavalry weapon, you know, and there's no, like you're saying, there's no drawbacks when you're using it for its intended purpose.
Right, yeah, when you're using it for its intended purpose, it has a greater benefit to the already pretty good stats.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Holy damn.
It's been fun.
Dude, this has been awesome.
Holy damn. An oxymoron, if I've ever heard one.
Holy damn, boys. That was lit. Also, the tavern was popping off tonight, which was also a lot of fun, too.
Gotta love drinks being poured, dogs being pet. We had a wedding.
We had a wedding.
There was gunfire.
Yeah, it was quite the night at the tavern. But it's been great, and it's been awesome having everybody here. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. A little bit longer of a Tavernside Talks, but I was realizing that the momentum we were getting and how we're all, having people in here hanging out and doing all this stuff, I figured why not push a little bit longer. Plus, there's no way we're going to get through these play tests in a reasonable amount of episodes if we did hour and a half. So I think we'll just go ahead and probably for the rest of our Unearthed Arcana digging, we'll probably push the episode length a little bit so that we can get through more.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm excited to see, especially Logan coming in this when he's here. Want to see what that's going to be fun. Trying to figure out, because he's going to be on my side and I know it. He's going to try breaking the damn game.
This dude's going to be like, bro, I love min-maxing. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to min-max. I'm going to now make all... I'm like, okay, dude. All right. Logan, if you're in the chat or if you watch this, bro, if you could broaden your verbiage from min-max...
Oh, he's broadened. He's broadened it.
From multi-class to dabbler in other things.
I will say on his behalf, one dabbles in so many things when you multi-class. You cannot help it. It's the ultimate dabbler.
He is the ultimate dabbler. Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Right. But we'll, honestly, next week when we do this, we'll have Logan. So that'll be a lot of fun. We'll have 3 brains to throw at this stuff and 3...
And 2 brain cells.
Yep, we're sharing them. And then also, real quick, Sunday. Sunday will be, in theory, don't want to jinx it, but the finale of our Redmire Hunt.
The Redmire Hunt gets more red.
Yes,
Sunday. I can guarantee that.
Sunday should be the final epic conclusion of it, and so that'll be a lot of fun. Also, I'm just gonna say this now, and I'll say it again later, but we will be doing an end of arc wrap up, and my intention is for the end of arc wrap up, which will be not obviously this next Sunday, but soon. We'll be doing a giveaway of some sort, so look out.
Giving away one of the players.
We're giving away. Okay. Anyway, thank you all once again for hanging out with us. We will.
Oh, we appreciate.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. We will see you next time, and stay. I don't know. Awesome, I guess. Yeah, sure. Okay. See
ya. I was just gonna say mazel tov to the happy couple, and best of luck in your new life together.
Yeah. Also true, I guess. Yeah. Hey, and I guess we'll see. Hey, don't be shy at the tavern. Feel free to come back and hang out. Also, yeah, thanks for everyone who followed. Plus the flesh crevice and Kenner. Kenner a little more tame than flesh crevice, but honestly,
that's good.
Yeah, thank you for joining our.
Some of them are yings, some of them are yangs. They balance out how they do.
It's true. Anyway, y'all take it easy. We'll see you next time.